Good evening, my fellow exiles. Hope you're all doing well. Of course, there have been some developments in the Path of Exile community. We're going to talk about those tonight. We're going to chat with Rhykker of Diablo and greater ARPG fame, and we are going to play some hardcore solo self-found. If you're watching the VOD or you're just joining, the podcast with Rhykker is in about 45 minutes. Until then, we're going to chat a little bit about the drama. You're going to get my take. You're going to get pissed at me. You're going to call me a GGG shill. And you might unsubscribe from my channel as well. Fun, right? Hey, Garf. What's going on, dude? How you doing today? Doubt it. Ooh, I need to make this wider. One sec. You had worse takes. Okay, let me reset this. Browser settings, 1200. There we go. What drama? Hey, Doc Bones, what's going on, dude? Hey, Omega Cybers. Well, the drama. I can't believe you don't know the drama, Well. That's crazy. It's going. Well, that's good, man. Good. The drama essentially is that Path of Exile 1 3.26 has not been worked on essentially at all. It's entering pre-production and it's halted probably until May, June, or July until they get the next PoE2 patch out. And they waited until now essentially to tell everyone. The name of the cat is Zoja. She's named after a character in Guild Wars 2 in Asura. Yep, she's a big kitty. Want to say hi? No, she's just going to sit on my lap. I won't lie. You know, honestly, I need to get in that mood DM was talking about today on his stream when he was reacting to my video. Just not caring about what people say. I hate it because I care a lot about what everybody says, but I was dreading starting the stream today. And I decided, I'm just gonna start it. Well, for me, I was not surprised. Neither was I. Guys, I released a video like 3 days ago saying they're gonna delay 3.26. There's no way that they're not gonna delay it. Please explain to everyone how this is a good thing for PoE1. As a PoE1 lover, I also understand it's for the best. I mean, it's the only charitable thing I can say about that is that they're not rushing a half-arsed expansion out, and that hopefully they put the time and effort into this next Path of Exile 1 patch that it deserves. But, you know, it's very difficult. You can't really spin it. It does suck for Path of Exile 1 players. I don't have the viewpoint that it doesn't suck. It definitely does suck. Okay? I totally get that. But I understand why GGG is doing this. And, you know, the bad part is that they just communicated it now, you know, and they knew for a bit that this was going to happen. And it's just rough that it's just rough that they waited this long. I think the reaction, even though people are saying the reaction would have been different if they would have done this to start January. Guys, no, the reaction would have been the same. They are delaying the delay of the delay. Yeah. I don't think PoE1 is dead. You know, I do think that there is an argument for the fact that since this delay is happening, and, you know, it's not the 3 to 4 month cadence of leagues that we usually get, Path of Exile 1 is definitely going to lose players because people do move on, right? People move on. So I think that's one of the sucky things. Is I think people will actually not play that would have played before. Like, they'll just move on in their lives. They'll forget about PoE. They'll move to a different game, whatever. And that is very unfortunate. You know, the reason they're able to go like this in the graphs, keep growing year over year, is because they were consistent, right? They had, ow, Zoja, that hurts. they had delays, right? But it was every 3 to 4 months for leagues, okay? Up until now. Now there was just 2 leagues in 2024. And of course, Settlers of Calgary, 7 months now. But I'm obviously enjoying Path of Exile 2. It sucks for people who aren't. It really does. I think part of what's going on is that there's been a doom train about PoE1 since PoE2 got into EA. Some people see this as confirmation. I see it as a more definitive answer. Okay, so going on that train of logic, right? I think I understand. It used to be Path of Exile 2 won't necessarily impact Path of Exile 1's development. Then it became, we pulled a few developers off Path of Exile 1 to work on PoE2. And now it is, we have pulled all the developers off Path of Exile 1 to work on Path of Exile 2. And we still intend, our intention is to still run Path of Exile 1 leagues. And then your train of logic is, okay, well, this is confirmation that in 6 months' time, they'll be like, okay, well, actually, we need to put more resources on PoE2 because, oh, we need more classes, right? Or, you know, okay, and in a year or 2 years, it's like, oh, well, you know, Path of Exile 1 leagues, not getting a lot of players, and Path of Exile 2 has 10x the player count, whatever. We need to put more resources on that. So you're seeing this as like just the beginning or in the middle of a chain of dominoes that are falling, right? I left my wife and quit my job for the new PoE1 league. Thanks a lot, GGG. I mean, a lot of reactions akin to that, Bobby QQ. A lot of reactions akin to that. And if you interpret it in the way that I just laid out, the domino effect, yeah, you know, it sucks, right? It really does suck. I don't necessarily see it as playing out like that, but it is possible. I'm not denying that, you know? I think it is a shame that everyone is giving GG a pass on this mismanagement of resources. They pulled the PoE1 team away months ago, and just now saying 3.26 isn't being worked on. It's a rug pull. Yeah, they should have announced it. I think they should have announced it sooner. I agree with you on that point. Rhykker is the best. Love his vids and guides. I'm learning stuff from D3 and D4 constantly. Awesome. Yeah, it should be a great talk. He's a wealth of knowledge on Diablo, and I'm not. So we're gonna talk about Diablos. We're gonna learn a little bit about Diablo 3 and everything. I want to get his take on, you know, how Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 it might be kind of similar to this situation. Does anyone actually care about the PoE1 delay?
The ancestors will remember your actions.
Yeah, I think lots of people care about the Path of Exile 1 delay. Whoa! Hey now. Rax, dude, thank you for the raid, man. I was just trying to not doom about Path of Exile 1. Appreciate it. I really got to lead up to the Rhykker chat by not dooming about Path of Exile. We're going to doom about Diablo with Rhykker. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Thanks for the raid, man. I really appreciate it. Oh my, oh my. I think it's crazy that gamers will complain about unfinished games and complain about game delays. Just go play something else. There's no real middle ground, right? It's very tricky, the situation that GGG has themselves in, because even though people, you know, rightfully say, okay, well, there's been delays the past few years and, you know, PoE1 has been neglected, so on and so forth. They've also set this expectation of really knocking out the expectations of their players. You know, everybody can say that Path of Exile 1 is doomed and it doesn't get the attention it deserves. Man, Settlers of Calgary, lots of Path of Exile 1 players loved the hell out of that league and said it was one of the best leagues of all time, and it had a tremendous amount of content added to it. That was merely 7 months ago, but that was the last Path of Exile 1 league. You know, so even with minimal resources, they still knock out people's expectations. So now that they have entirely fallen flat on their face, I think for the first time in quite some time, people are going into hyper doom mode, which I don't do. I'm just not. Yeah, thanks so much for the raid, Rax. Really appreciate it. Honestly, just kill PoE1. PoE2 is so much more fun. Okay. Don't kill me. I agree. I think Path of Exile 2 is massively more fun than Path of Exile 1. I love Path of Exile 1, and contrary to what you may read on Reddit or Twitter, I have played a lot of Path of Exile 1. I've been playing since 2019. I get, 36, 40 challenges almost every league. Love the game. I think Path of Exile 2 plays so much better, even in its early access state. Okay, even with way less content, even with an end game that needs a lot of fixing. I have enjoyed Path of Exile 2 far more playing just for fun, as opposed to Path of Exile 1, where I grind for challenges. And I probably stop having pure playtime fun 35, 40% of the way through that. And then the last 60%, me grinding out for challenge rewards and sweet cosmetics in the game. Whereas in Path of Exile 2, I am now about double where I usually am in playtime for Path of Exile 1, and I'm just playing for fun. I'm literally just like playing my monk and just enjoying the game, even in the end game, which could use some work. I lost an Arbiter 3 last night. It was very sad. Very sad. I'm pretty bummed, but I saw a 4chan image, take with a grain of salt, regarding development at the end of November and what was going on at GGG. I have also read that leak. I don't believe it. I really don't. There are some contradictions in there about pulling away resources at that time from PoE2 to work on PoE1, which did not happen, and a few other things that are a little sus. There was also a press event mere days before that was leaked with some, and that post had some of the info that was revealed at the press event, so I'm not sure. You sure that's not because it's new and in the honeymoon phase? It's like new league. It's always fun because new stuff. I don't think so. I was like going back to my old Path of Exile 1 characters, and I was seeing if I was like that with Path of Exile 1, where I played a heck of a lot. No, it's not. Like, I just like the feel of the game better, guys. Especially the campaign. Like, I'm playing Hardcore Soul of Self-Found in the campaign right now, right? On stream. And I'm massively enjoying it. I could not force myself to do that in PoE1. I just couldn't. The gameplay there was not nearly as fun to me. The abilities that you're using early on, it just all felt very samey. In Path of Exile 1, or Path of Exile 2, that's not the same. Yes, Kitty Cat. Yes, Soja. I know. But, Nick Blazer, if I played for like 500 hours in a month, I think Rax's video from this morning said, I played 600 hours. So, I'm a degenerate, no-life person. I think if I played 600 hours, I would not be playing right now. I don't think I could play 600 hours in a month and a half. I think that I would burn out before then. I've only played, you guys, just for people who hopped in, I've only played for like 100 only, 155, 160 hours. And that's spread amongst many characters, but the bulk is on my monk, who's level 91. Am I missing the metallic chirp sound from PoE1? I know what you mean. Diablo 3 feels better than PoE1. Game isn't as good, though the feel of PoE1 is pretty bad. Yeah, I really like the feel of PoE2. Just the way the characters move, the impact of the skills, the monsters. Even an endgame where everything is blown up, it still feels better than PoE1 to me, right? I have 450, game is still sick. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Hey, Try, I feel like the armor is an upcoming catastrophe as the 4 of the next 6 characters use it. What do you think? Yeah, most definitely. They need to add more defensive layers. They need to further help armor, and they need to add more defensive layers to the game. Yeah, Ben has a video on PoE too. I agree with some of his takes, and I disagree with many others. And I did not like the way that he necessarily, phrases things, but that's just my attitude. I'm quite different in that regard. Tips for an early game monk. I just can't get that class to work for me. Oh man, really? I really felt like I pop off after I kill the Count Dionor. I get Ice Strike or Tempest Flurry, and then everything just seems to die. Make sure you're using Bell. Make sure you're using your default attack and really buffing that up until you get Ice Strike or Tempest Flurry as an early game monk. And it should be pretty darn smooth. You are at risk against projectiles, especially early on, because you don't have as many hit points. An energy shield that regens, and you're more reliant on evasion, which is not high at that point in the game. But once you get those skills rolling, get some evasion, you feel really good. Yeah, PoE1 plays bad, but all the systems, the crafting, all that stuff, Really good. Excellent. Yeah, just use the bell. Yeah, 100%. 25,000 hours in PoE1, 700 hours in PoE2. I prefer PoE2. Wow, 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 wow. Rage is a good multiplier. I didn't slot in Rage until I was in Endgame. I feel like the worst part is they know they messed up and delayed PoE1's new league, but are doubling down on making people wait more. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, they messed up, but they still believe that they are making the right decision in fixing and improving and adding content to Path of Exile 2. PoE1 plays bad, but no, it doesn't. Much preferred to PoE2, though WASD would be welcome and could have been in PoE1 years ago when controller support was added, but they didn't. Like, did I say it plays bad? I think I just meant like it doesn't feel as impactful, right? I think, this is a hot take, I think PoE1 plays better than Diablo 4. And a lot of people, did I say play? Bro, heads up, guys. I got 1 hour of sleep last night and 1.5 hours of sleep the night before. My 2 daughters are like ping-ponging, waking up. So, I mean, this is rough as all hell for me, not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys can see. I've never had bags under my eyes before. And I have bags now. It's kind of rough. When is the podcast starting? 8 p.m. Eastern. So about 28 minutes. 28 minutes. Oh, Bazooka Tank, what's going on, man? Yeah, so I did end up, unfortunately, being accurate in my call. I just had a gut feeling, dude. I just had a gut feeling that they were going to delay 3.26. I don't think they wouldn't have done any work on it. Okay, I just thought they were just going to delay it by a little bit. You know, push it to like end of March, April. Okay, I thought it was going to be like a March release. And guys, I think it's going to be like July. I think it's going to be a 1-year league. I think it's going to be a 1-year league. Look, he took too much copium. He can't even speak anymore. Bro, Darth microtransaction reacted to my video that I made, which was just me saying, guys, let's not overreact. It's okay. Like, this sucks. It's terrible. You know, it's upsetting, but it is not the end of the world. Don't overreact. You know, things are going to be okay. Everybody in the chat thought I was like on the verge of tears. Bros, I was just being serious and I was exhausted. I was not going to cry. You guys couldn't make me cry donating thousands of subs to me, okay? That is the closest I've ever cried when it came to content creation. Okay, when you guys were donoing, like, you know, gifted sub after gifted sub after gifted sub, that close to crying. Last night, not even close to crying. I don't think the game could make me cry unless, you know, like, I don't think the game could make me cry. Like, I don't take it, I know I'm very dramatic, but I don't take it that seriously. I didn't do the hot sauce challenge, and I haven't done the cheese plate challenge because I'm doing it when the next Path of Exile 2 update comes. I figured I would do it on the 24-hour stream because I'm presuming that's when we'll get like the most viewership. Don't worry, I've not forgotten about that. Now the Mrs. Try thing with us ping-ponging 1 hour of sleep, yeah, that obviously is taking a hold. I don't know. The one time we played, we were both freaking exhausted. She was exhausted. She's still breastfeeding, so. I think the last time I was this sad was back in Kalandra League. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's sentiment, and I think a lot of people are even more sad or upset. Hey, Funkoot, what's going on, dude? Crying is only for strong men? Well, bro, I cry all the time. Movies? Oh, I can't stop crying. Hey, Rock Goblino, what's going on, dude? Showing vulnerability is real, man. Yeah, I have nothing against crying. It's just, I won't cry because of that. I'll cry because, you know, I'll think about the last time I'm ever gonna, you know, pick up my daughter, or the last time I'm ever gonna read her a bedtime story. That sort of stuff will make me cry, and I can't say too many of those hypothetical things, or I will break down. And I don't want to break down right here. Nose hair pull. You're right. My nose is itching. You're right. Reddit is dooming very hard. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. I can't do it. 10 years support is basically unheard of, isn't it? Yeah, more than 10 years. They actually went into open beta in 2011. So 14 years of updates. And it's not going to stop. Guys, updates are going to continue. 100% they're going to continue. You guys want to see some funny stuff? You guys want to laugh together with me? We still got like 20 minutes. Na. Here we go. Okay. Is this a bad idea? Might be a bad idea to do on stream. Okay. You guys ready? Hey man, I just found you a few days ago and I've been watching all your vids. Loving the content and I appreciate you and what you do. Keep it up. Hope you have a great attitude. It's so nice relaxing to listening to your one-on-one podcast videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. We got a raid from Rax, which really helped out. Crips seems to disagree they will continue. I watched Crips' video. I don't think he disagreed that they'll continue. I think that he agreed that Path of Exile 2 was going to get the focus, the bulk of the focus. From a guy that's been playing ARPGs since he was 8, thank you for being a beacon of positivity. All the negativity and entitlement from the community lately is it's crazy. All right, speaking of crazy, it's time for Try's Tweet Reading Hour. You guys ready? Da-da-da-da-da. Since the release of Path of Exile 2 in early access, our players have been asking about the future of Path of Exile 1 and the timeline for its next expansion. In this video, game director Jonathan Rogers addresses the situation. We've all seen this video. We know what's going on. Thank you for the message, GGG/Jonathan. I understand there's likely to be a firestorm as a result, but the decision is understandable, in my opinion, right? This is all my opinion, guys, because I'm writing it, and predictable, given the absolutely massive launch of Path of Exile 2 EA. Looking forward to 0.2 for PoE2 and 3.26 for PoE1. Stay sane. Da-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. So we got some nice comments in here. Here we go. Then we get this guy. The market only goes up. Yeah, this is fine if you're enjoying PoE2. I am, but it's horseshit if you supported them based on it won't affect PoE1 statement. It's easy to shill if you enjoy being a beta tester for an incomplete game. Don't think I've ever hated a nice guy more. Ooh. Am I a nice guy? Am I like that meme? Gotta keep those interviews coming. Yep. Yep. If you think that this is how I get my interviews, guys, you are crazy. You are absolutely crazy. This is me making a post on Twitter. This is no way how I get interviews. Let's see. Here's some good stuff. You're just a bootlicker. Always appreciated your takes and positivity, but this is the biggest L I've ever seen anyone willingly take. All the PoE creators are coming out as bootlickers trying to retain good standing with the company that has now given them 2 subpar ARPGs. 2 subpar ARPGs! These are my favorite, though. Look at this. Look at these GIFs. This is really good. 50 people upvoting that stuff, guys. Oh my god, I do shill because I enjoy their games. Hey, Rose, I enjoy their games massively. I wouldn't be playing this game if I didn't enjoy it. Guys, if I didn't enjoy this game, I would not be streaming right now. I would be downstairs watching a television show with my wife. I wouldn't be streaming. I wouldn't be trying to share my excitement and joy for the game if I hated it. F this bootlicker. Ah, yes, a massive launch. Truly unprecedented. Yes, it was unprecedented. Except for the part where you've never actually played PoE1. And are just regurgitating PR nonsense. But hey, keep pretending to be an expert. Maybe one day you'll understand what a loot filter is. Stay sane, Exile. Oh, this is so good. This is good. Okay. Nothing about this is understandable. Literally nothing. You'd think that these people haven't worked at a company. I have worked at a company. I have seen this exact thing play out. It's just project mismanagement and overpromising. It's completely understandable. Nothing about this is understandable. Nothing about this is transparent. Stop being a shill for GGG, you drooling. Wow, retard. Wow, okay. Try STFU, you're slobbering, you glazing ass, you're such an effing simp. This was a good one. I almost liked this one. I almost liked this tweet because it took me a moment. Took me a moment to understand what this was because I'm so sheltered. But it's good. It's good. No, guys, I'm only doing this because they're funny, okay? You need to work on yourself, man. You have good intent, but your content feels like an AI personality is running the show. This response feels like a Twitter bot wrote it. Bootlicking streamer boy, you ain't ever said a real word for the community before. Not a single word. Not a single word. That's good. It's absolute dog shit. The decision is not understandable. A lot of people do not and will not enjoy PoE2. The same people have spent thousands of supporter packs in PoE1. FGGG. Almost everything here is understandable. Like, I totally get this. Like, I understand why he's upset or they're upset. The cringe has entered the chat. Fun fact, this person is banned from my YouTube comments for some bad comments right there. You on every GGG post. This is another good one. This is another good GIF. This is one that I've received quite often. Okay. All right. Okay. This is one that I've received quite often. I thought that the Path of Exile audience was like 18 plus. But I mean, some of these, this has to be like a 13-year-old posting this, right? Like my audience on YouTube, I've got nobody below 18. But on Twitter, I guess not. Effing streaming glazers sucking GGG's dick to still be invited to do those half-ass interviews. LMFAO. There you go. Here you go. You know, a fraction because my YouTube video got a lot more of this. And you know what? To be fair, Ghazi got a lot more. Ghazi got a lot more crap than I did. So, have I ever thought about covering less toxic topics like politics? That's a great idea, Makad. That's a great idea, bro. I'll tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not making a video about this on my YouTube channel. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about it today with Rhykker. And honestly, probably with every single Path of Exile streamer and creator that I talk to on the pod. But I'm not going to make like tons of videos about it. I thought the PoE audience was 40 plus. Not from those memes, bro. Not from those memes. I don't know the game. I don't know anything. I've never played PoE1. We can start. No, we gotta wait. We gotta wait for Rhykker. We're 16 minutes out. I told him 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock it shall be. When was it you would get that GGG interview, by the way? February. But, you know, I'm not sure if their plans are changing. I was going to reach out in a few days. So we'll see. I don't know how to feel about Rhykker now that he's kind of the face of D4. Well, I think my camera is like all screwed up. What's going on with my camera? Hello. A little blurry. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna ask Rhykker about Diablo 4. That'd be fun. You know, it would make good content to make a video about LOL. Of course it would. I could probably get 100k views if I covered this. Did a video essay. I just don't want to do it. It's stupid. It is so ridiculous how people are saying grinding your games is the worst, and Path of Exile 1 is dead, and Path of Exile 2 is the worst game ever. It's so ridiculous, guys. I'm not going to make a video about it. I'm just not. And some people are feeding into it, and I freaking hate it. I hate it. So, no, guys, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I literally am not. Yes, this is how GGG never talks to us again. Never talks to us again. Guys, I come from Dota 2 and Guild Wars 2. Okay? Let's take Dota 2 as an example. You know how that game's developers, Valve, communicates with its community? They just drop a freaking content patch whenever. And that's all they say. They just drop the content patch, they post it to Reddit, they post it to their blog, and that's what you get. Do we want that to happen with GGG? Because I saw people going through, okay, GGG went on press tours. They were doing 2-hour interviews, 3-hour interviews. There was only supposed to be like an hour, right? They're going through all these interviews, right? Doing off-the-cuff answers. And people are going through and taking single lines and saying, wow, grinding your games, complete liars. Jonathan, they don't know what they're talking about. They're horrible. This is, I just can't. It's crazy. Like, plans change. Games change. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it sucks. They are trying to do it. They are trying to run both games at the same time and trying to succeed. Can they succeed? I sure hope so. They promised they would. I think they need more people. They need better project management, and they should have better communication. But burying Path of Exile 1 and doing all this signaling with all the memes and all the posts and all the, I miss Chris Wilson. I hate Jonathan Rogers. Mark will fix everything. Oh, Jonathan's evil. Jonathan is running the game into the dirt. These people, people don't remember Calandra. People, I know I've never played Path of Exile 1, but I did a research paper on Lake of Calandra, and man, people didn't like Chris Wilson during Lake of Calandra. People didn't like GGG during Lake of Calandra. All right. I don't think people realize that they literally chased. Well, okay. Maybe it was all coincidence, a quinky dink, right? That right after Lake of Calandra happened and Chris Wilson had every single Reddit post downvoted into oblivion, and everybody was saying, screw him, screw GGG, they suck, they don't like this game, they're trying to kill it, they don't know how to balance, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly, radio silence for years. It was just coincidence. Just coincidence, you guys. Looking forward to the body language analysis on the next Mark and Jonathan interview. There you go. All right. But that's different, though. Calandra was a bad idea. People feel I feel betrayed and lied to. Yeah. It's different. It is different. You're right. It's different. I guess that's just the well, I mean, didn't they feel lied to as well with like the whole loot goblin and god modifiers thing and the stealth nerfs? Like, I feel like now they feel lied to, and before it was like a complete just either lie or missing piece of information that people were confused about. I don't think they outwardly lied about anything except their intention that they don't necessarily want Path of Exile 1's development to be affected by PoE2. Obviously, that's not the case. Yes, exactly. They lied to us. I felt like trash because they lied to me. I don't blame people for being upset, but it's moronic to attack the devs and ruin the relationship they have with the community. Yeah, I don't. People are upset. Guys, tons of people in my community are upset. Guys, lots of people are upset. But they're not going berserk and saying their life is over and that they need to go lie down. And that there needs to be videos on the death of Path of Exile 1. And, pitchforking grinding your games. You can be upset. I'm upset. But it's just social media. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. This podcast is about to achieve its ultimate form. What? PoE downfall video incoming. Life is over. Can't do anything since PoE 1 is dead now. I don't know. Hey, Steel, dude. No, I'm just saying that life isn't over because the PoE 1 league is delayed indefinitely. Hot take. Very hot take. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Life is over. Everything's over. My dog is dead and grinding your games killed it. Okay. There was a really funny meme that I saw in the Path of Exile subreddit. Okay. There are some fire memes in there. Okay, you guys. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Jonathan just announced the end of the world. Yes. Okay, let's get this meme up here, guys, because it's actually a fire meme. Okay. Where is the... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is the best... one of the best memes I've ever seen. You guys ready for this? So Path of Exile is the Grim Reaper, Diablo 3, Undecember, Diablo 4, Last DeFi. Path of Exile, GGG. Oh my God, Jesus. I may have cried when I saw this meme. I've never seen this version of the meme. Is this like a version of the meme? Because I only ever see the doors. I've never seen the I'm ready for it, you know? Oh my God, but this made me laugh. Yeah, PoE1 is not deleted, guys. I mean, it's obviously in a dilapidated state, but it's not deleted. And it's not their intention to delete it. Now, I understand the people who are saying, you know, it might be the slippery slope. It might eventually, you know, go into an area where it's not getting updated because of all this. I get that. That would really suck. And you know who would be against it? Me. You know who is optimistic? Also me. Not the end of the world, in my opinion. I know. See, there you go. See, one mana left. Connor. No, you're totally right. We talked about this earlier. It's the goalpost moving. So it's, you know, now it's just delayed. Then it's, oh, well, you know, maybe we'll do 2 6-month leagues, even though their intention was to do the regular leagues. And then it's okay. Maybe one reset a year and then maybe maintenance mode. And I feel like that's what a lot of players are saying. Is that like right, Connor? I feel like that's the rational doom slope. Like doom slope? What the hell? That's the rational order of operations outside of the, you know, Path of Exile 1's just dead. Like I understand if people are thinking, I told you this, 0.2 would be before 3.26. Totally agree. This is a blow softening announcement for when they move the goalpost later again. Right. So that's, and if that's the thought process, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That definitely sucks. Because Grinding Gear Games was trying to be different. Grinding Gear Games was trying to do what Blizzard couldn't do, what other companies couldn't do. They were trying to run these two games at the same time and stay honest to both audiences. And this was the first test, in my opinion. And, you know, I love GGG, I love PoE2, love PoE1. They failed the test. They failed the test. All right? That's just the truth, right? Like, I know I'm big shill, but they failed the test. Like, guys, this is insane. Okay. Like, that one was funny, but this one's insane. Press F to pay respects. You know, this one's funny, too. I can't believe he didn't cry at the Titanic. Do men even have feelings, boys? Oh, my God. I mean, some of the memes are fire, guys. And DM was right. Path of Exile 2 out of 10. That was also funny. Why is this such a big blow? PoE1 is older and would eventually end. Companies are not reliable, in my opinion. It is a big blow because they said this wasn't going to happen. And because Grinding Gear Games has an excellent track record with their community, everyone believed them. That is why. That's it. That is why it's a big blow. And that is why being sad and being disappointed, I think is totally warranted. Blowing up, I don't think is warranted. And that, the fracturing of the communities has occurred. Oh, we effed up. We need to do 0.3 after 1 year. Right, that's the thing. Every year has been record player number. It's not a game that needs a relaunch to not die. Yeah, 100%. Somebody made a really good point. Maybe it was Palsteron. I think it was Palsteron's video where he's like, wow, I'm really red. I think Palsteron was saying, like, and I agree with this. I made a short on it. Like, I think if they would have released 3.26 first, you know, even though, so let's not, I don't want to like get this wrong. I think what I would have preferred is 3.26 first. What I thought was going to happen was that 0.2 would come first for Path of Exile 2. But if Path of Exile 3.26 came first, I think that would have been the biggest Path of Exile 1 leak of all time, because a lot of the people who ended up enjoying PoE2 would transfer to PoE1 and try that game out. A bunch of them would bounce, but a bunch of them would love the game. And they would turn into people who just deeply enjoy Path of Exile and bounce from PoE1 to PoE2, PoE1 to PoE2 over and over. Now we're in this state where PoE1, you know, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a year before it gets a league. And I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. I think a lot of the people who love PoE2 right now might just not go to Path of Exile 1. They might see maybe this uproar of, you know, PoE1 dead and just think like, I'll just stick with PoE2. I know my friends are that way, guys. So my friends, I desperately tried to get them to play Path of Exile 1. None of my friends played it. They refused. My wife refused. My family refused. Nobody refused. Sorry, everyone refused. All of them are playing Path of Exile 2. And I think I was going to get them to play Path of Exile 1 for the first time because of PoE2. But last night, I was in chat with them when this was announced. I like hopped from our group runs to talk about this, to record my video. And when I returned, they're all just thinking, yeah, I don't think I'm into it. I think I'm just going to stick with PoE2. You know, I'm just going to stick with it, which hurts. It definitely hurts. You know? Yeah, a lot of people saw the game was not as complicated as they thought. This may turn them away from 1. Yeah. Yep. Hey, we can all play PoX privately. Well, the thing is, I have limited time, and I'm probably going to play PoE2 because I really do enjoy PoE2 more than PoE1. Like, there's no shade. I just, you know, I enjoy PoE2. Tinfoil hat, but I have a good track record on these things. They don't want people playing PoE1 before 0.2 because they don't want the acclimated to more speed, or 0.2 will seem worse afterwards. That's possible. Are you of the mindset that they are going to massively reduce speed in 0.2? I think they are. I really think they are. They 100% will. Yeah, I really think they are. I don't know how they didn't. I don't know, guys. Like it. Oh gosh, I should run ads. I should run ads really quick. Did I run ads before the pod? Oh, we just ran ads. Okay. We just ran ads. Good. All right, let me see if Rhykker is sending me a message. Not yet. I'll send him a message in a moment. Let me make sure I have my journal. Okay. Get you guys on this screen. Actually, this screen, that screen. Go. Oh, they 1,000%. They will slow it down by 30 to 40%, I think. I don't know. God, how did it become so zoomy? Was it so zoomy on Start, you know? I mean, it's zoomy. You're blowing up stuff with Herald Device. If anyone equipped Herald Device, I feel like Herald Device is like the biggest screen pop factor out there. Even without, I'm not using the blah, 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 the Sapphire Ring. I'm still popping stuff with Heralds. My, oh my. Okay. Let's see. You guys, thank you for chatting about that, you guys. I think I'm losing subscribers. Guys, this is the first day I've ever lost subscribers on YouTube. I have lost more subs than I've gained. For the first time ever. Can you believe it? Hey, Toxica, dude, thanks for the 50. I don't know what those are, but thank you. Thanks for the 50. I appreciate it, man. Porcelain? Is that what they're called? Yeah, first time I've lost subs on YouTube, and it's all from that video where I'm like, guys, let's not overreact. It really sucks. This really, really sucks. This is a bad scenario. Not overreact, and people are like, unsubscribe. No, don't. You'll subscribe twice? Okay. Oh, it's a polar circle in Swedish Danish. Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. Thank you for the dono, man. How many subs? Only like 20. It's not a lot of subs, but it's still like I notice, right? Because I usually see number go up, but number did not go up today at all. All right, I got to make sure that my. Oh shoot! Go. All right. Ready when you are, good sir. I forgot to send him the ready message. Oh, he's ready. Oh God, here we go. All right, chat. I have his audio levels set, so let me know if they're too low. Okay. Video call. Here we go. Hey man, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome. Can you see me, or is my camera not set up correctly in Discord?
I see the Elgato screen, but
Oh,
I can follow along on your on the
Are you sure?
stream.
You're sure? Because I have a secondary camera that I could set up really fast if you want me to. It doesn't matter to me.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, man.
Can you see me fine?
Oh yeah, you're all good, man. Yeah,
right, cool.
You look great. You look great. I almost put on a hat. I was so close, man. I was gonna do it. I have a Dune Awakening hat for when Dune came out, and that's the only hat that I have. I almost did it, but I decided I won't do it. Maybe it's too bad of a bit,
What did you think of Dune Part 2?
Okay.
All right.
Man, I didn't like the ending. I really didn't like the ending.
Yeah. I was disappointed. I thought you were gonna be like super gung ho about it. So yeah, all right. I'm glad we can feel some commiseration there.
No, the ending, man. Especially, have you read the books, the Dune books?
I haven't. No,
dude. Oh my god. So if you at all like just reading or audiobooks, I highly recommend the first three. The first three Dune books are spectacular, especially the first one. It's such a tight story. It's almost Shakespearean in how it plays out, while also molding together like those epic fantasy sci-fi themes. And it does this really cool thing of putting you in the heads of every single character in a scene, which is interesting. So they'll say something like the characters will be speaking to each other, but then you hear the thoughts of characters 1, 2, and 3, all while the conversation is ongoing. And because there's so much conniving, it's very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. It's very good. Okay, Dune aside, I think audio levels are good. Chat, everything good on Rhyker's end? Everything good on my end? I'll give him just a second. Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna get us started. Do a silly YouTube intro, and we'll chat about. We'll chat about some things, man. All right. Hey, folks. This is Try with Rhykker.
Hey, how we doing?
Rhykker, man. How's your day going so far?
Day's going great. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's been quite the dramatic 24 hours in not only the Path of Exile community, but I'd say the greater ARPG community. Obviously, we had a lead designer leaving from the Diablo team, and a lot of people reacted to that. And then later that same day, Grinding Gear Games dropped the bomb. Path of Exile 1 is essentially indefinitely delayed. So, Rhykker, I think we should start out with that. A little bit of a preview of the Saturday morning news video.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it, dude?
Well, the PoE part, I guess.
Yeah, the PoE part.
Yeah. So, I mean, first off, I could understand why people are feeling upset, disappointed. We love our hobbies, and there are some hobbies that people get really passionate about, and PoE is a kind of game that really garners a kind of very passionate audience, as opposed to more casual games where people are kind of like, whatever. You have the perfect recipe for people that are they love the game very much, and they're going to feel strongly about it, and so they're going to feel strongly when they get some pretty devastating news. So I totally get why there's strong emotions there. To me, I'm not terribly surprised that this is what happened, that they had to pull people from PoE1. I was surprised when they first promised that they were going to run both games and that PoE1 was not going to suffer for PoE2, because that's just what you see all the time in the industry, right?
Yeah.
As projects are, coming to fruition, any company that's running multiple games, that is cooking multiple games, they pull talent, right? At Blizzard, we
Mhm.
saw a StarCraft project canceled so that they can pull talent to get Overwatch 2, Diablo 4 out the door. This is just what happens.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people were hoping GGG was obviously aspiring to do.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, with all the Zaro memes and quotes, an aspirant can afford to be a promising, an emperor must keep those promises. A lot of people were thinking GGG were the emperors in the scenario, because even though Path of Exile 1 has had delays in the past few years, they still put out banger content updates while they're working on PoE2. And then this first real big test comes around the corner and they fail. They fail to deliver, right? There's no way of going around it. Big GGG shill right here. Love the game, but it is a failure at the end of the day, and it really sucks. And I understand the disappointment as you do. And I'm curious, what do you think may have led to this? Just speculation, of course, but we know we get a lot of leaks or insider info from other games long after the failure occurs. Right now, even though we don't have a ton of information, what do you think the real source of this is? Because obviously Jonathan, he took the full blame. Do you think there's anything else at play here, or what are your thoughts?
I think when they promised that they'd be running both games, I think they were sincere. I think they thought they can do it. I think GGG is excellent at running a live service game. I mean, they established that 13-week formula. They
Right.
perfected it, and maybe it was a bit of overconfidence in thinking that they could manage both games at once. I fully believe their sincerity, but I think they just hit the same struggles that every other company hits when they're shipping multiple products. And they had a great plan, right? They had a great plan of
Yeah.
having the two teams. And in theory, if in a perfect world, that plan would have worked. But unfortunately, it's not a perfect world. And, any plan does not survive first contact with the enemy. And the enemy is time. And we don't have indefinite time. You can't keep delaying a game. At some point, you got to ship. And if you want to make sure that game is as good as possible, are you going to be like, I left some resources on the table.
Mm.
I didn't pull all my best PoE1 talent to help ship this product on time. It was going to happen. It was going to happen.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have been looking at this line like, perfect is the enemy of good, right? And I think GGG, they like things to be as perfect as possible. And when Path of Exile 2 went into early access, obviously there were a lot of problems that honestly, I just don't think they either didn't see in their testing or they didn't think were massive issues. But when a ton of players came against the walls, oh my goodness, they were so apparent. Things as simple as runes not being overwritable. Oh my gosh. Like that was one thing. When I was talking to Jonathan, I told him, like, you should be able to overwrite these. And he's like, it'll be fine. Bro, no, man. It's not fine. That was a simple thing that massively affected so many different players. So, early access, I've really enjoyed it so far. And I know in your latest video, you talked about you're mostly like a casual player, and we'll get into the definition of casuals soon. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on early access of PoE2 so far as well?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think it's been a tremendous success for them. But I've really been enjoying my time with the game. I do feel like we're kind of it's two different games in one. I feel you have the campaign game, which is like spectacular, and then you have the end game that it feels different. It feels like it turns into something else. And, that one, maybe needs a bit more tuning and polish than the first one, which is really, really, really solid. And I mean, my understanding is that the whole end game system is something they kind of just cooked together in the last few months. Is that right?
Yeah, last 6-7 months. I think the exact date was the reveal of the Spiritborn for Diablo 4 is when it's when they turned everything toward endgame. They were like, oh, we should probably work on this thing that people are expecting to be developed, right? And they stopped worked on the campaign. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So you enjoyed the campaign then thus far?
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny when I finished the campaign. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I'm like, it took however many hours, and I'm like, I don't want to have to do that again anytime soon. I am eager to jump into the end game, and I got into the end game. I was enjoying it, and then I got to a point where I'm like, I kind of want to do the campaign again. I really enjoyed that. So I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to miss it so soon.
Yeah, I definitely get that feeling, especially because what did you play your first run through? I'm curious.
So I've only had the one character because I've still been
Okay.
enjoying it, and it's Minion Witch.
Oh, Minion
Because
Witch.
in 2019 I tried PoE2. In 2023, 2022 on Gamescom I tried PoE2. So I've tried many of the classes, including the Druid, including the Huntress. And so I had an idea. I'm like, I'm not going melee. There is no way. I am not skilled enough to handle melee. I remember the long animations with the hammer, and I'm like, I'm gonna try a minion build. Also because Diablo 2, man, my first experience was a necromancer, a minion necromancer, summoner necromancer, and I've just always been trying to recapture those feels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe this will be the one. And I really enjoyed playing a summoner.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've heard good things, especially with the latest patch where they kind of reworked how minions were despawning and then not respawning around. You're like, that sounded brutal, dude. And I know
Yeah.
Endgame with the corridors. Ooh, I would be
yeah.
frustrated if I was playing minions. So, but I ask that because if you ever play through another section of the campaign, you know, in the near term, man, it feels different character to character. And it's not even character to character, it's just archetype to archetype. You know, we're saying monks and warriors, but it's really, okay, if you use maces, wow, that plays differently from quarterstaffs. And same with minions. I was shocked at how just different the playthroughs felt on each class. And full disclosure, bro, I could not play a minion character past level 5. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. But I'm with you. In D2, that was my first character too. Minion character. I didn't go Necro. Druid was my jam.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't work out well.
Wasn't the best build.
No, and I was very young too. So I was just playing, smashing buttons and clicking right, like, oh, this is cool. That's cool. Kind of what I do with PoE2 right now, maybe a little bit more sophisticated. But I really pushed myself, tried to beat it, and it didn't work out when I was, 7, 8 years old. When I revisited a few years later, I was able to. How old were you when you first played Diablo 2?
I want to say 12, and
12?
it was the original Diablo. We didn't have Druid yet.
Okay.
But I what appealed to me about the Necro was, and I'd played RPGs before, and it's always like you play like the goody two shoes hero, and I'm like, oh, this is like a dark looking dude. He looks kind of evil. Like, this is different. And I just love that just dark spin on the genre. And like right away you go out there and you're fighting like zombies and undead, whereas other games it's like, go into this cellar and kill 6 rats for me, please, Mr. Hero. It's like, what?
Yeah, I remember that clearly in games like Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Baldur's Gate, that's the classic. Yeah, right? You're in Candlekeep, and the first thing you do is you go into a freaking cellar and you kill the rats, right?
Bingo.
So, yeah, that dichotomy must have been crazy back then when those were the options available. Did you ever play like Neverwinter Nights? I'm curious.
I did, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Did you play the Persistent Worlds or just stick to the campaign?
Oh gosh, it's been so long. I remember noodling around in like the map editor thing and like
The Aurora tool set?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. It's man, let's move it up. Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah,
so
obviously.
I just I gotta do it, you guys, because it's the perfect time. That experience in Neverwinter Nights with the Aurora toolset editor is the peak D&D video game form thing ever. Like, it just gave all the power in the hands of players via scripts and all the models and tile sets. So I'm curious, dude. I know from some video, I can't remember which video it is, you were just talking about how, you originally kind of started YouTube for D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, or you had series related to that. How long have you been playing? I'm curious.
Like 25 years.
Really?
It's my biggest hobby, yeah.
Really? Okay, are you a DM or player mostly?
DMing is really what I enjoy the most. I've been a player a couple of times, but I just it's my creative outlet. So like I get to build worlds, I get to build a lot of characters and plot lines, and it's my ultimate creative outlet, and yeah, I just love it.
So you're playing it now, I presume, if your biggest hobby?
Yeah.
Okay, so DMing your own world or in a pre-established setting?
Yeah, so we have our own setting. It's been running for, I don't know, like 15 years
Oh,
through
that's so
multiple
cool.
campaigns, to the point that like characters from like the first campaign, they've become like the emperors and like whatever, like powerful figures. And so we go through generations of players as well, where some players get to see their old characters as NPCs now, or new players are meeting old characters from, past campaigns. So
That's
that's
awesome.
nice.
That's the dream, dude, especially if you have a close-knit group of friends or people that cycle in and out and you get to see those stories evolve over the
Yeah.
course of a decade. I also, big DM here. I have thousands of pages of my own homebrew world
Oh,
written.
wonderful.
Yeah, oh dude, it's so much fun sitting down, playing in person, or even we did it online for a little bit there. It used to be one of my favorite things, but man, people I think underestimate the amount of like effort it takes, especially as a DM.
Absolutely. I think if they don't do it, they just can never know.
Really. But I feel like being a dungeon master really prepped me almost for streaming or like being on YouTube, because I feel like every single one of those sessions, just a whole bunch of like videos, because you're narrating like either combat or you're being NPCs, you're exhibiting someone. Like, do you feel that way too? Do you feel like you hone your craft every time you sit down at the table to roll some dice?
I never thought of it that way, but that's it makes sense. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
because you're
I know
constantly thinking on your feet.
I'd started, as you mentioned, my original like YouTube content was D&D. It was posting my Dungeons and Dragons sessions just to share with the world, and then eventually D&D tips. And I would listen back to my recordings, and I would make like little post-it notes of stop saying speak more clearly, stop mumbling, stop slurring your words. And I think that actually better, yeah, prep me for being able to make YouTube videos.
Hmm. Huge. The thing, I had a sticky note on my Dungeon Master screen saying, don't say just shut up. And it helps with narration, right? Instead of, if you do just a line talking about them creeping into some decrepit sewer, and then as you're thinking of the next line, talking about the giant rat that lies within, if you say it instantly takes them all out of the moment. But if you pause and give them a moment to
The pregnant
just conjure
pause.
it in their mind, yeah, it adds to the atmosphere and everything, dude. So yeah, it's a hobby I really want to get back to. I kids, and I am just so zonked now, man.
I could imagine.
Oh, oh god, it's rough. One day I'll get back.
Awesome.
I'm curious, is there a reason that you stopped sharing D&D stuff and swapped over to Diablo style content, ARPG video game content?
Yeah, so I mean, I started YouTube just as a way to share, my hobbies with the world, with other
Yeah,
people, like-minded people. There was no monetization on YouTube back in the day,
yeah.
and D3 came out. I got really into D3 as Reaper of Souls was coming out. Like my YouTube channel was a purely D&D YouTube channel. I made D&D tips, posted sessions, and but I was super into D3, and like I was doing a lot of research, and I'm like, man, I'm doing all this research. I like to share with the world. Let me like share this wealth of information on like guides and stuff. And so I started making guide content for D3, and that just exploded like 10, 20, 50 times bigger than my D&D content. So there was a pretty rapid shift from D&D focus into Diablo focus.
Do you think it was the content itself or the voice?
That made it so popular.
Yeah, because I'm every single video of yours I see. Oh, you know what? Turning this on Saturday morning, listening to the smooth voice, just chilling. It's good vibes. Or do you think like, did you put a lot of work into those tip videos? Did you make them like concise, or were they just super in depth? I have not watched the D3 content. I've watched the D4 content, but I was not around in the D3 era.
Sure. I mean, so YouTube has evolved so much over the
Yeah,
years. I mean, again, I started before like ads were even running on YouTube.
crazy.
And I think when I was making the guides, the reason that my channel was able to grow was at the time, like, there just was a paucity of this kind of content. There just weren't many guides, and the guides that there were was like just poor quality with regards to like, terrible mic, no webcam, like terrible recording quality. Like people didn't know how to edit, people didn't know how to do YouTube back then.
Right.
And so I was able to leverage a certain set of skills And I think that's what allowed me. Also, I had knowledge of SEO, search engine optimization, which
Right.
kind of no one really knew back then. And it's no longer the meta for YouTube, but just because things keep changing so fast. But
Right.
yeah, it was being able to apply specialized knowledge and skills to produce a product that just wasn't found really elsewhere. And it took a
Yeah.
few years before, everyone started to get a webcam, and everyone like nowadays, you can buy a streamer kit for like 20, 30, $40 and you have everything. You got the ring light, you got the camera, you got
Yeah.
the mic. It's really easy now to get into things, but it wasn't that wasn't the case back then.
Where did you, if you don't mind me asking, where did you get those skills? Were you in media before? Or this was just knowledge you had, picked up from different creators or someone else?
I guess you're right that it was D&D.
I knew it.
Because D&D prepped me for it. I mean, I guess editing the D&D videos for a couple of years
Yeah.
gave me the skill. Yeah, because I don't have any formal education in video editing or like voice work or anything other than throughout my life, doing voices of NPCs. I like voice acting. It's fun. And then the SEO stuff was from being working in as an editor for a website.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, before we get back to ARPGs,
Yeah.
you're setting me up for it, man. You love doing voices. Okay, you don't have to do the voice right now, but do you have a certain favorite NPC voice you want to share? Maybe just describing it,
Well, okay. So, I mean, if I have a favorite NPC, if there's one voice to do,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be from my homebrew. It would be hello, stay a while and listen.
That was pretty good. That was excellent. Okay. Is there a Deckard Cain in your homebrew world of some sort?
I'm sure I have at some point done a Deckard Cain voice, or at least something similar enough. The thing is, I can't bust it out. Obviously, I know everyone's going to recognize it, and they're not going to take the dude seriously. So I use it very judiciously.
You use it for the joke character, you're just like, okay, I want them to not take this old dude so seriously. I've done it for a tabaxi merchant before. Let's do it. Yes. Totally unserious character, but I went really all in on it and even did like the, standing like this and everything. I really get into the body language when I'm DMing too.
It helps, right?
It does. It does. 100%. Okay. D&D tangent over, time stamped in the video. Back to Diablo. Now, I obviously have played a lot more Path of Exile than Diablo 3, Diablo 4. I did give Diablo 4 a chance a go, like when it came out. I really enjoyed the campaign. Like I really enjoyed it. It gripped me. I think I played through it in 2 evenings, which I blasted it, I think, because it's pretty long, it's pretty lengthy, especially as someone who doesn't have a lot of experience. Once I hit the end game, I kind of bounced, but I've returned season after season. And the next season that really captured me was Vessel of Hatred and season 6. Season 7, I haven't tried. I've watched your review of the season, your brutally honest review. And you talked about it finally really cementing its identity in the ARPG space, as a game for casual players, right? More casual players. And you grappled a little bit about the definition of casual, which I agree can be like co-opted or kind of amorphous depending on who you ask. So first, what is your definition of like a casual player? Just in your eyes. I'm curious.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great point because people have different definitions, and, and it has for a lot of people, it has that sort of ick that like, oh, it's a pejorative. It's you're talking down to people when you're calling them casual. Like I identify in large part, like I'm pretty casual relative to other content creators, at least. But I think like at the end of the day, words are just sounds that we make that we all agree, mean a certain thing. So if there's a better term, I'm not married to any one term. But my personal definition, I think I see it as we got 2 axes. And on the x-axis, on one side, you have the x-axis is basically how much time you devote to your hobby. And it could be a lot of time or it could be very little time. And so the little time is kind of more on the casual side, and the lot of time is on the more the opposite of casual, blaster side is. And then the y-axis is how much of a challenge you're looking for in your recreation, with very little challenge being more casual, and very much challenge, a lot of challenge being more hardcore. And so I think in that bottom right quadrant where you have little time and little challenge, that's where D4 thrives. Like that kind of player that's just looking for something to relax to, and maybe they don't have a ton of time to put, like that's where D4 thrives. And whereas
Okay.
PoE, especially PoE2, really thrives in that top left quadrant of people that, well, I'd say the campaign actually just on the left half period. Because even people that don't have a lot of time, as long as they're open to a challenging experience, that whole left, the top half, my bad. The people looking for a challenge, regardless of how much time that they have, it serves them really well. But then when we get to end game, it goes just to the quadrant where a lot of time and challenge. Although I guess I'm not at that level, but I think even the challenge starts to fall off at the highest tiers of play. Is that right?
Yeah, I definitely say so. I think the whole progression is a little iffy right now with Path of Exile 2, especially in the end game, as we touched on, at the front. It's like a flip switches once you hit that end game. Right now, sometimes because everything is RNG based, finding the pinnacle boss, the Arbiter, people can get to a power level at which they're so strong, they insta kill the pinnacle boss the first time they find it. And that's horrible. Wow. I hate it. It happened to me, Rhykker. My friend, he's level 93. He's played way more than me, but he hasn't been able to find the Citadels. He just has terrible luck. So I gave him 2 frags. I gave him 1 fragment. And I was like, yeah, go do the Arbiter, let's watch. Oh, I'm so excited. I just fought him. It was like a 4-minute fight. It was crazy going back and forth. I succeeded on my last attempt. He goes in, and he's a Frost Mage, Necro, but Minion Mancer. Arbiter did not even get an ability off. And I was like, this isn't good. This just isn't good. The system needs to change entirely. The progression is totally out of whack, So.
And I mean, that's not the vision that the devs have for the game. I imagine they don't want endgame to devolve into that, is my impression at least, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine no dev really wants that, especially for their top tier content. Even if Diablo is, little time investment and ease of challenge, I'd say like your highest uber tier fight, it should be kind of a struggle, at least the first time you fight it. Yeah?
Reasonable.
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable, because even if you can have like 95% of the game being that lack of challenge, just chilling, killing lots of monsters, downing bosses really fast, that last 5%, having that pushback against you, I feel like makes that other 95% being very chill okay, for a large segment of players. Like, you want that pinnacle, that aspirational content that is actually conquerable, right? Aspirational, in a term that sometimes GGG uses, I think is a little wrong. Like, they think that, okay, yeah, literally the best of the best should only be able to do this, right? And I don't think that's what like Blizzard goes for necessarily. They try to make everything accessible, but I still think it should have that aura of challenge about it,
Absolutely fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you were talking in your video that, I enjoy PoE2 at some times, I enjoy D4 at other times. Which one do you think you would enjoy, at least you enjoy more right now in their current states? I'm curious, because obviously D4 is pretty well developed at this point. It's established its identity. In Path of Exile 2, it is missing a lot of content, and there's a lot of stuff wrong with it. So somebody asked me this question about, I think it was like, if you could play Path of Exile right now forever, or Path of Exile 2 forever, what would you choose? And I chose Path of Exile 1. If you could only play one more forever, which would it be, D4 or would it be Path of Exile 2?
Assuming both games are frozen in their current state right now, PoE2.
Yeah. Okay. What really... Wow, that's a surprising answer. What really cements that enjoyment for you? I'm curious. Is it the campaign?
So to clarify, it's not that I don't enjoy D4. It's just that...
yeah, not at all.
I think each of these games has a finite number of hours of enjoyment that you can get out of them before you got to wait for the next seasonal launch or league launch. And I think, especially with the current speed of progression in D4, it's so fast that I can't see myself sustain for more than, like, I'm really enjoying season 7, but am I going to enjoy it for a full month? I don't know. I'm definitely not going to enjoy it for more than a month. Like, season 6 was amazing, but after a month, I'm like, okay, I can't wait for PoE2 now. Whereas PoE, because everything is slower, there's kind of more content. I could savor it for a longer time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And you're playing SSF too, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, dude, it feels like the game is almost designed for SSF, honestly.
Interesting. Okay.
I think
Well, the difficulty, I would agree.
Yeah.
Agree. The loot drops don't feel designed for SSF.
No, sorry, I'll correct myself. The difficulty, it feels so good. You know, the
Yes,
speed at
true.
which you're progressing through the campaign and into maps. It feels like it's a steady progression, and you're not meant to like leap from, you know, T1 maps to T15. You can do that in trade very easily, and it feels bad just buying your way through the progression. In SSF, which I mostly did, I did like SSF Light. I traded like 2 items before I did Arbiter. Felt really good. Felt really good. So I'm glad you're getting that SSF experience, because sometimes trade, I don't know, it kind of corrodes your mind, and almost you have that feeling in the back of your head saying, oh, you should just trade for this item. You just go for it. Just buy the item. Just buy the item. You don't need to earn it yourself. Just go for it, you know? Is that something that you ever felt in like Path of Exile 1? Because you didn't play much Path of Exile 1, if I'm not mistaken, did you?
I mean, not as much as Diablo games. I was really into PoE1. Gosh, when was it? It was before ExileCon, the first ExileCon. I played PoE1 maybe for like a year or something. Like I just reached a point where, you know, I was like, my job was playing D3, and I just couldn't make the time for both games anymore. And like PoE was like taking over my life, and I was loving it. And I did get into the whole trade game. I was like Mercury Trade and whatever, like app downloaded all the different various plugins to get it all to work, the alerts and everything. And it was just taking over my life. And I'm like, my job is suffering. I can't keep taking time away from D3 for this. And PoE1 is a game that for me to really enjoy it, I gotta be all in. And just playing it a little bit here and there, I couldn't get that the amount of investment that would make me enjoy it. So I was really looking forward to PoE2 and being that fresh start where I can get in from the ground up, and I can learn all the systems and not just be like, oh, I missed a year and now there's a million things that I don't understand anymore.
Yeah. I totally can relate to that. All of my friends and family, I tried desperately for years, dude, to get them into PoE1. Wouldn't do it. They all popped into PoE2 with ease. They are loving it so much. They see it as that fresh start, okay? And they're absorbing all the systems and enjoying the gameplay. And I almost was going to get them to play PoE1, because I was like, oh, there's going to be a new league in like February or March, you guys, you know? It's going to be so cool. And they're like, okay, you know, maybe. I'm really enjoying PoE2. Maybe I'll give it a go. And now they've learned, you know, about the delay, and they're like, maybe I'll just stick to PoE2, you know, I'll just chill there, right? I don't need to learn 2 games. So yeah, but that makes sense. It really is. It just caters to that crowd, as you said at the top of the chat. People who just are hardcore and really like to dedicate themselves to a single game forever, or a really small stretch of time, and just grind the hell out of it. Now, with D3, what was the appeal of D3 to you that made you stick with it from, you know, I assume, did you play when it came out, 2012? 2012 to, wow, 2022, essentially. What was the big appeal there?
It's a good question. I mean, so I played it every day up until Reaper of Souls. I'm still playing it every day. For me, like one of the best states of balance of D3 was early life of Reaper of Souls. I think it was like maybe 3 to 6 months in, was when like the progression and the drops were like perfect for me. And then after that, things just kind of got easier and faster, and I would burn out faster and faster.
Right.
But I mean, it's distilled fun is what it is, right? Like it's arcadey fun. We're talking about finite hours per season. Like in later years, because everything became so much faster, and this is my concern now with D4, that we're already there. You just burn through those hours really fast. And so like in D3, by the end, like I could get 2 weeks max, and then I'm done. And it's like, what do I do for the next 2.5 months now?
Right.
But like I always enjoyed the experience at the start of the season. My only
100%
regret was just that that's all there was, and it happened too fast. And I would like to have more stuff. Like one thing that PoE does really well, and has done really well, is it's meaningful end game systems to engage with, that once you're kind of powered up, you could still keep going and
Right.
having context to what you're doing and feeling like you're accomplishing things, as opposed to just
Yeah.
like, oh, here's another Paragon level kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Why do you think that is, that they ramp up, that Blizzard in particular ramps up that speed of progression? Now it's in 2 Diablo games. Like obviously it happened over an elongated period in Diablo 3, it sounds like. But in Diablo 4, June of 2023 it comes out and we're in 2025, and like I saw, you're getting to level 60. That's not, maxed out completely, but it's level 1 to 60. It's the main progression for a lot of players in 3 hours, and we're getting chests that drop loot for 32 seconds or something. What was that crazy clip that I saw? It's like I'm just so curious, because I feel like many players understand that sentiment that you're getting at. Like they want to play for a longer period of time, but they just accomplish everything so quickly.
Well, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of players like
Oh, yeah.
us want that, but I think we're actually the minority. And
Yeah.
so I released a video about 10 months ago where it was framed around like what happened to Last Epoch, because Last Epoch was made a big splash and then kind of disappeared
I remember
pretty
that one.
rapidly, faster than I expected. And I used that as a topic to broach, like, do ARPGs have a problem that we just like burn out on these games really fast? Why can't they sustain us for like a long period of time, like, in the past? And
Hmm.
I had to eat crow, or like understand that my opinion's in the minority. Everyone like was like, this is a terrible take. Like
I remember.
we don't want to play a game forever. We want to play it for like 2 weeks and be done and move on and play other games. Whereas I'm the kind of person that I want to play my one game for like a year. Like I
Yeah.
want to be a one game Andy and just do that all the time. But that's the minority apparently. People like being able to get everything done in like their 2 weeks. They feel good about that. They don't feel like the game is lacking, and then they can go and play their other games. Their other, 10 games they're going to cycle through over the next 3 months, and then come back for another 2 weeks of fun. And it does a good job appealing to that crowd.
You think it's the Ooh. Do you think it's the fault of the entire modern live service system, wherein we've got the battle pass that we complete and we get the check marks off the list, and then we go to the next game with the battle pass and it feels good to complete the battle, and you just continue that cycle? You think that's what's going on? Because I feel you, dude. I am a mono gamer. I like playing a game, sticking to that game, and just learning it really well and thriving in the knowledge that I've gained and that I continue to learn play session after play session. I think it's like why I like Path of Exile so much. It's because I kept learning, even though it was the only game I was really playing. Beforehand, it was Dungeons and Dragons Online. I don't know if you ever played that, but
a little bit.
Peak until it went pay to win. But do you think that might be the source of what's going on here with the majority of players? Because I think you're right. Mono gamers are the minority. I think you're totally right.
I think it can play into things. I think it's just largely across generations, across culture, our attention spans have gone a lot shorter. I think it's a mixture of things. One, attention spans have gone shorter, and second is there's just so much more competition for our attention these days. I mean, back in the D2 days, how many games did you own? Maybe a handful. Whereas nowadays we have a library of hundreds of Steam games we've never played and never will, but we buy them on special because, damn it, we're going to definitely play them one day for sure, right? And we have now Netflix and Amazon Prime and Twitch and YouTube, and there's like a million easily accessible means of entertainment at our fingertips that we just didn't have in the past. And so we had our one game and that was it. And now it's like, social media as well, feeding us 15 seconds of video at a time. Our attention spans, I think, just can't keep on one thing for very long, and we don't want to, and we don't have to.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I also wanted to ask you a little bit about this aspect of D4 that I think pushed me off a little bit as someone who is casual in terms of play time for a lot of these games. Most of the time, I can have those periods where I blast, at a league launch or something, but most of the time, I really like Path of Exile because I can play it on my schedule. Whereas something like D4, at least from the outset, they have all these seasonal events, and they have the world bosses, and they have the world map where you have to participate with all these different players to grind out this stuff. It feels almost MMO-ish in a sense. I had played a lot of Guild Wars 2 in the past before I had kids, and that had a lot of the same elements, even though it was a little bit more casual friendly, right? I'm really curious about your thoughts on these MMO elements, because I feel like as the game has progressed, except for the addition of the Dark Citadel, they've almost recessed into people's minds, and they're not really talking a lot about these MMO-ish elements. Have they kind of disappeared from the community? Like, are people just accepting it? Do people not really interact with it anymore? What are your thoughts on those in ARPGs in specific? Because a lot of people say, oh, D4 didn't try to reinvent the wheel. They totally did. They went hard with a freaking open world and an MMO. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I think it was an L for me, but I think maybe a lot of people maybe enjoy it and just are like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think the D4 of release and the D4 of today are almost like two different games in the same way that like PoE2 campaign and PoE2 endgame are two different games. There's been a reversal of so many decisions or directions. One of them being, I feel like the MMO element has been walked back a lot. And, I mean, part of it is like world bosses now, the timer is just, they pop up much more often. So it's more forgiving of, you don't have to log in for that time of day. It's kind of like, on an average play session, you may, run into the world boss. They're also not as important to do, I think, as a lot of like the timed events, like the Legion events. No one does those anymore. It's just, there's no real point. Those used to be more prevalent, more important in the meta and the strategies in the past. I guess the overworld right now is really kicking. Helltide 2.0 is a big win, and now the current Whispers, the Witch Tide, the Headhunt zones are a big win. It's open world stuff, but I mean, I don't know how much people really see that as interacting with other players.
Right.
I mean, a stat came out a few months ago that from Blizzard themselves saying like 85% of their players only play solo. They never party up. So
that's wild.
Yeah, I think leading up to release, I mean, they saw Lost Ark, and Lost Ark is an MMO with ARPG elements. And they probably wanted to capture more of that kind of stuff. I mean, back from the D2 days, right? The original D2 devs developing D3 were going to make D3 an MMO. They saw MMO as the future of the ARPG. So, with D4, they wanted to kind of dip their toe there, but not go all the way. It, was not received very well with a lot of players. A lot of us, ARPG guys like to just be able to do stuff by ourselves.
Right.
We don't like to have to party up. I surprisingly love the Dark Citadel. It's like some of my favorite content in the game.
Yeah.
But only because I play with people I know, I guess.
Exactly. Not grouping up with random people or anything. And I did not get to play Dark Citadel. I didn't progress that far in Vessel of Hatred. How were the boss mechanics? Were they like crazy in depth, like something World of Warcraft or a Lost Ark end boss, or were they more manageable, just for popping in there, playing it casually?
So I've not played World of Warcraft. I don't have good points of comparison. I think it's manageable. I mean, we figured it out like on our first or second go. But I do see people like going in and being confused. But I definitely think it's manageable. Like you could figure it out. You only need two people can carry the whole thing.
Right.
It helps with more people, but like ultimately 2 people who have really powerful builds and know what they're doing could carry the whole Citadel.
Okay. Makes sense. Now, you mentioned an awesome piece of trivia that I don't think a lot of people know. D2 devs making D3. They wanted it to be an MMO. Super cool. There's like even some still like images out there of articles outlining it. Very cool stuff. Now, personally, I think that would actually be kind of awesome. A world of Diablo sounds pretty cool to me. The Diablo universe, I mean, mostly through your videos, and then I've read one of the Diablo books. I think it's pretty metal. I really like it. Okay. I'm curious though, from your perspective, of all like the different fantasy universes out there, also being a dungeon master, which is your favorite? Diablo, Warcraft. It sounds like you haven't played WoW, so maybe you don't like WoW. I'm also someone who hasn't played WoW. It's so nice to meet you, Rhykker. Like so many people are not like me and haven't played WoW.
Yeah, we're vibing here.
Yeah, exactly. So which universe do you like most and why? I'm curious.
Specifically fantasy or including like sci-fi?
Ooh, if you got a sci-fi one that you like, better go for it, man.
Okay, I just want to see what I should open my mind to. But so while I didn't really get into WoW, I actually loved the original Warcraft, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3 in particular. So I enjoyed the Warcraft universe and the lore and stuff. So like my only interest that remains in WoW is sometimes I like check in on what the lore is, and I'll ask people
Right.
what's the story now.
Yeah.
And I like that they're still talking about characters from 20 years ago,
Yep.
because apparently that's when they made all their best characters, and no one cares about the new ones or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh gosh, I loved StarCraft. I mean, it's possible StarCraft was my favorite universe. I love the characters and the setting and the factions and the story. And man, like the day that StarCraft 2 was announced was at the time the happiest day of my life. I was just such a big StarCraft 1 fan. I also really like StarCraft 2, but yeah, I think it's something that people generally don't know about me because I never talk about StarCraft really. But
Are you a big RTS fan?
I was, I guess, in the 90s.
So you missed the like Age hype and everything? You never played like maybe Age of Empires, Age Mythology, all those games?
I got into it a bit. Not as much as like StarCraft was my main one, but I did a little bit of Command and Conquer, a little bit of Age of Empires 2 was the big one. I
Right.
don't think I ever played Age of Mythology, but like Total Annihilation, some of the more obscure ones as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly I played whatever my dad bought. Like I was a kid, so
Right.
and he seemed to buy a lot of strategy games. I think the strategy games are just big in the 90s. Was
Oh
part of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, the Age, they all took off. I was Age Mythology. I've got the poster right there. Age Mythology Retold. Plug that. That's a very fun game. Definitely try it out. An actually good remaster. Very proud of that. Actually, great. One more thing about ARPGs, Rhykker. The D2R, so the Diablo 2 remaster. I have not played Diablo 2 since I was about 12 years old. All right. And everybody tells me this, you got to play it. It's such a good ARPG. You should experience it as an adult. I remember it being super hard and I remember having a wonderful time. However, do you think going back now with no real nostalgia for the mechanics, the abilities, or anything else, do you think someone in the modern day could go back and really enjoy Diablo 2? Given I've played like PoE2, Last Epoch, D4, all these games. How do you think it would hold up with the modern audience, like myself?
All right, so someone that has never played D2 before, but they
Basically.
have played other modern ARPGs,
Yeah,
it's going to be
yeah.
rough. I love D2. It's possibly it's one of my favorite games of all time. I love it. It's going to be rough for a number of reasons. Quality of life stuff, like lack of end game. Like there were things that were just okay 20 years ago, but like
Yeah.
the genre has evolved and a lot of that stuff just isn't in the game. I think you take away the nostalgia. It's rough. It's rough. I mean, I know that I played, sometimes my old gang of D2 friends, we'd come together and we'd want to do a LAN party, and we would rope in some people that didn't really play D2 back in the day, and they're just like, they weren't feeling it at all. Whereas we're all like having a great time, and they're just like, this game feels so old. And unfortunately, D2R still has the old engine running underneath everything. It's got a pretty coat of paint on it. And they did, some things to enhance the experience. Like I think they did literally the best job anyone could possibly do remastering D2. Like as
Looks
a fan
beautiful.
of D2, it's an absolute joy and pleasure, but it's still a 20-year-old game.
It is. Yeah. See, I'm so scared to try it out because I feel I have that inkling in the back of my mind that that's what I'm going to think. And then it's going to be something that, I got to hide like my opinion on the Path of Exile 2 dodge roll. Like I just can't vocalize it, it's because it could be dirty. It could really scar me, man. All right, Rhykker, I've got one more thing that I really want to talk to you about. And this might take an hour to discuss. So Frosty LaRue put out this crazy video of you talking about
who?
drones.
Sorry, who?
Frosty LaRue, this madman, this Diablo 4 super fan, okay, the biggest of them all, okay? All right. He had this I think it was the most masterful thing he's ever done. Honestly, man. I was crying. Okay. It was, I think it was like 5 a.m. when I saw it. My daughters woke up in the middle early or morning hours. I'm rocking her back to sleep and she's finally asleep. I'm like, oh, new Frosty video. Okay. They don't usually make me laugh that hard. It'll be fine. I turn it on. I am crying as everybody's talking about ARPGs, and you're just like, and the drones, and the whole subplot was just so great. So obviously you love sci-fi. What can you talk about the drones and why they were so fascinating to you in particular?
Absolutely. I'll start by saying that I'm so happy that the PoE community has been introduced to the joy and love that is Frosty LaRue. What a treasure in our community. And I'm glad that now he's not just in the Diablo community, he is in the ARPG community. So very happy that the Frosty cinematic universe has expanded and grown. It's like Marvel and DC coming together thanks to Frosty here.
Mhm.
And don't get into which one is Marvel and which one's DC. But
no, we won't. No, it's okay.
Yeah, so as you just hit upon there, like I have an interest in sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this all started a couple years back. I was just trying to find like I have trouble falling asleep at night,
Okay.
so I was trying to find stuff to like read to help me fall asleep, and I just happened to find that if I read like UFO lore, that helps me fall asleep. And
Yes.
yeah, the most random thing. Oh, and it's UAP now, not UFO anymore. Unidentified aerial phenomenon is the new term du jour. I guess they want to get away from all the UFO nutters. But
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, like, so like, I don't personally think there's any compelling evidence that aliens have visited us, but it was interesting from a sci-fi perspective to see like what are the theories and like what does the UAP community believe and stuff. And so I was kind of following it from that perspective, while still like trying to find like, okay, anytime someone posts a video of like something in the sky, like I'm always looking for a prosaic explanation, like what is it that is not aliens? Like it's just a bat at night, right? It's just, well, that's obviously a helicopter kind of thing. But the truth that kind of kicked off this whole thing was, oh man, how much time do you have?
Go for it, man. It's fine. I'm really curious because that's the only little bit I couldn't like find the stream VOD. So I was like, this must have been a part of some crazy rant about this. This is so interesting. And I saw everybody was covering it on the news. And then, man, it just stopped. I couldn't find anything about it. So,
well, it's a cover up, right?
Okay.
That's why the VOD was deleted as well. The Illuminati got it.
Crazy, crazy, man.
So just as a warning, you might get a takedown on your channel after this. So
That's
you're
fine.
forewarned. We're getting a dangerous territory here. But
I'm gonna get a strike.
So I think it came largely into the public eye last. It was December. The New Jersey drones was when kind of like mainstream media really started covering it. But the story started before then, long before then, about a year before then, or possibly longer. I became aware of it. It was December 2023, and there were these drones that were for 11 to 17 days straight, every night, like clockwork. This fleet of drones would go invade the airspace of a U.S. Air Force base. I don't know if it was Langley or Lakenheath. I forget which one it was. But it was like clockwork, and civilians were seeing these drones. The military was seeing these drones, and they were so disruptive that the military, that Air Force base had to cease nighttime operations, and they even relocated their jets as a precautionary measure, which costs the taxpayers millions of dollars to do, by the way. So these drones were reported to have 20-foot wingspan, some of them smaller, so some of them like they described it's like motherships, the bigger ones, and then the smaller ones following. They'd have lights on, they'd come by, they'd just kind of do a little patrol, and then they would leave. And no one would know whose drones are these, where are they coming from? And just the 11 to 17 days, and they disappeared, and the story vanished. Until October, I believe it was, 2024. The Pentagon or Department of Defense, in some kind of a hearing, acknowledged formally that this drone thing did happen and that they don't know whose drones they are. They don't know where they're coming from, but they said, don't worry about them. Okay. November 2024 starts to repeat at US Air Force bases in the UK. Mysterious drones with lights come fly out, go near the airspace of the Air Force bases. Civilians are seeing it. Civilians are live streaming it. And they fly out. The UK Ministry of Defense, the MOD, got involved. They sent 60 experts, including scientists, military personnel, to try to help figure out whose drones are these? Where are they coming from? We don't hear anything. The public doesn't hear anything other than a continued repetition from the US government. We don't know whose drones we don't know anything about these drones, but they're not a threat. Don't worry about them. And it was right after that that the New Jersey drone thing started to happen.
Wow.
And when it hit New Jersey, what happened was all of a sudden you got people who have never looked at the night sky before going out to look for drones, and oh my God, a drone. It's a plane. Oh my God, a drone. It's a helicopter. Oh my God, a drone. It's a bird. Oh my God, a drone. It's the moon. So this kind of overtook the story of like there's like 99% of the reportings are false.
Yeah.
It's people literally seeing planes, and to this day you still have people pointing at showing footage, and you can literally hear that it's a plane. It's like a landing plane. But take away all the noise, and
Yeah.
there still is something true there. Where you look at some reports of like the Coast Guard. There's some Coast Guard that reported their boat was followed by a fleet of drones, keeping pace with them at 80 knots. These are not Costco drones. These are not
No.
hobbyist civilians. Police in helicopters chasing down a drone. A police sergeant said that he had someone in the sky chasing one of these drones. As he got close to the drone's lights went off. It went dark. That's not allowed by FAA regulations. Now, actually, we just got a resolution to the story this week where the new government of the US has said that the drones were FAA approved for research. So that's
research. What the dude? Oh my god, that's terrifying. What are they researching? They're just flying. Oh my god.
Oh. Yeah, so I mean the UAP community, like they think that these are alien drones, that either they're like, you know, whatever. There's all kinds of theories. I think it not being aliens is a scarier thing because is this an enemy nation? Is this terrorist activity? Like, why is our airspace so vulnerable? Why can we not track? You're telling me that the U.S. government can't track these drones to where they're coming from? Like, I don't believe that. But like, why aren't you being honest with us? That's the stuff that made me really like ruminate on this.
Yeah. I think that's the terrifying. I'm totally with you. It's scarier because that's also the more realistic explanation, right? That it's someone from afar being able to go over a US airbase and just fly, and they move operations instead of dealing. Oh my god, dude, that's scary. The whole drone situation is terrifying me. I've been listening to a few people talking about like the individuals that people want to recruit into militaries across the world aren't good soldiers anymore. They're good people who can fly drones. Like they want those individuals to be recruited because that is going to be the future. Like the people who are pros at controlling these things, you know, from some remote location. And those are going to be the absolute goats of the future, which is like, oh, is that what we're thinking about now? Oh no, please. No. This is terrifying. And then today I saw, you know, Ring doorbell, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I saw a Ring home patrol drone that just flies around your house.
Oh my god.
At all hours of the night, and while you're gone, it's just a drone that goes around in circles and it patrols your home. Oh my god, dude. I don't know. It's too much. It's too much. Please don't let it happen.
No, I mean, like what you said is right. It's the future of warfare, right? Like drones are cheap. And you know, I think that my favorite theory, or the one that gives me the most peace of mind and kind of makes sense, because, you know, people are like, oh, there's spy drones from, you know, a foreign nation. I'm like, if they're spy drones, why do they have lights on? The theory that makes the most sense to me is that this is a red team, where it's like, okay, I'm going to give you, you know, $50 million of budget. You are a black ops unit. You are going to act as an enemy of our nation, and you are going to try to attack us via this specific vector to see how vulnerable we are to this. Because that would explain why no one knows anything, why they have their FAA regulation lights on, because they're not actually trying to hurt anyone, but just point out, this is how vulnerable we are to drone attack.
Ooh, that's a pretty plausible theory. That's interesting. Oh my. Well, I hope we're able to fix that up, because that's terrifying. An entire like army of drones can just fly overhead in the UK, in the US, really anywhere. I mean, wow, that is a good origin. I had no idea about any of that, man. So thank you so much. I'm sure the chat is also like, this is some good stuff. This is awesome. To wrap it all up, man, I know we said it'd be right around an hour. We'll end with something ARPG related. All right. Future of ARPGs, you know, D4 tried with, you know, MMO elements. Path of Exile 2 has really leaned into boss fights and having these highly telegraphed moves. What do you think is that next elevation level for ARPGs? Some feature that they could steal from another game, another just, you know, something that maybe existed in the past that no longer is present, just something that you think would really resonate with players of ARPGs today, you know, us hardcore wild people that we are.
That's tough. Ooh,
This is the
that would
hardest
resonate.
question. It's why I leave
Yeah.
it for the end, you know? We can let it
I
ruminate.
if it was, yeah, I'll think on that one, because if it was like to open up the ARPG to a wider
Yeah.
audience, I would say that the one weakness we've had is we haven't had good PvP since like D2 low level dueling, like a real proper PvP. Actually, I really like the PoE's April Fool's joke
Battle
Battle Royale. I
Royale?
thought that was actually really done. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I think so. I within our community, because we've been starved of any good PvP. We largely aren't PvP players, but I think a solid PvP in an ARPG would open up, to a lot of like League of Legends and MOBA players, for instance. But what resonates with us? It's hard because like I feel like GGG kind of does all the things that like they just know the genre so well, and the kind of veteran players so well. So I love that they're always willing to do these crazy league ideas.
Mm.
Even though sometimes they don't work. I love that they have the courage to just go balls to the wall with these crazy ideas, and when they do work, like they're glorious. So what other than that?
I like that sort of innovation in the space. I really hope like Last Epoch kind of takes that vibe too, where they try some wild stuff with their expansions. Obviously it's going to be about a year since their first big season when it comes out in April. I'm really hoping there's some crazy stuff in that expansion because I know they've been cooking. It's not like they've been doing nothing this past year. They have been really trying to pack everything and put it into the perfect package. And now the new Path of Exile stuff might release at the same time, and I'm like, oh no,
Oh, no.
EHG.
Please, GGG, have mercy.
I know, come on. Right?
Yeah, no, those guys do great work. Yeah, like they've come up with some genius solutions to things. And I
Yeah.
think that's the thing with innovation, is like you don't know it until you see it. And like, I
Right.
love their solution to trade, for instance. Like that was it. That was it. And I want to see that in every game now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be awesome in PoE2. Some version of that, GGGified, but with that base. I mean, even the SSF in that game with the Circle of Fortune.
Yeah.
I mean, what an interesting concept. And I'd love to see something like that if you couldn't migrate from SSF to trade in Path of Exile 2. And that would just be my playground, probably, for the foreseeable future. Right?
Absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I just think right now, as ARPG fans, we are spoiled. We have so many games to choose from, whereas like 15 years ago, it was Deadsville. So it's just a great time to be a fan.
Agreed.
Even those of us that want like that one game to sustain us forever, we can rotate through these different games. When the last Epoch cycle comes out, we rotate to that, and as long as maybe some informal truce can happen between the devs and they kind of stagger their releases, we can go from one to the other to the other.
Please, I hope that happens. I hope GGG, EHG, and Blizzard, they all just get in a room. Okay, guys, we're gonna do this. Come on, we're just gonna chill. All right, and then okay, Rhykker, I have to ask you about this because this is how I was introduced to your channel. Wolson, I know, dirty name. That was the first video of yours I saw. I think it was a Wolson review or something way back when. They have a new game coming out. It's like Pantheon or something. I think it's supposed to be a PvP isometric game, dude. You gonna check it out?
Oh God, I have a sour relationship with Wolson, man.
I know.
I can't say I'm too enthused to check it out. I mean, if other people check it out and say it's good, then maybe I'll check it out. But like,
all right, I got into the alpha. I'll let you know. Okay.
Oh, all right. I mean, hey, if
I didn't play Wolson.
Was just frustrating. You didn't play at all?
Okay. No, I just watched your content.
Okay, it's a point of frustration for me because there's just the lost potential and like seeing the cycle of development where like things are good and then like, oh no, what happened? And like the build that I played pre-release, like things were mostly okay. And what we've seen in their cycle post-release is like they whenever they do some kind of update, they just break everything. And then they take like 3 months to fix everything. And it's like, okay, the game's in a good state. And then they release another update and it breaks everything again. And the same thing happens. And so that's exactly what happened at launch. It was like right before launch, things were in a pretty good state. They launch, and then the launch version of the game broke things. And then by the time it was fixed, everyone was gone. I had friends that actually got into Wolson in the summer. It was like 3 months post-launch. And like, this game's amazing. Like, why is everyone complaining? I'm like, because they fixed everything now.
Yeah.
But then they released a patch and they broke everything again. And Uh,
It's like the plight
it
of
hurts.
inexperienced devs. That must be it. You know, it's like they got this big success. They're doing live service, which if you're inexperienced and you have such a huge game with a lot of moving parts, I'm sure it's rough as all hell. Like I can't even. My company runs a few websites and we, you know, lead gen and everything. Dude, the number of things that can just break in a release on a basic website. So it really boggles my mind. Right, making games is really hard. So, you know, even though people give GGG, Blizzard, EA, all these different companies like crap, I mean, it is a miracle that games even function. Honestly, all the games that we play, I have to say it, it's crazy. I massive respect to the devs and all the people involved in working on them. So, yeah, man, this has been a great chat. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about PoE2 or any the other topics we discussed?
Nah, just I look forward to more's to come, and especially I can't wait to play the full Huntress when that gets in the game.
Ooh,
I need that Jabazon gameplay, man. Yeah, just no game has satisfied that Jabazon fantasy since D2.
Ooh, okay. Well, hopefully it's coming in that big 0.2 patch that's arriving. Unknown. We'll see. We'll see how long. Yeah, we'll see. Should be great.
Let them cook. Yeah.
Well, man, it has been awesome speaking with you. Thanks so much for hopping on the pod. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it, Rhykker.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Have a great night, man. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right, chat. W or L? You guys enjoy it? Was it fun? Was it good? Even though I'm working on 1 hour of sleep, I thought that was awesome. Huge thanks to Rhykker for popping in. Absolutely fantastic. You vibe with Rhykker a lot. That was a very nice chat. Grim Dawn was like, oh, I didn't mention Grim Dawn. True. Farm content equals profit. To bed with you, sleep deprived man. No, that was your favorite interview, actually. Dude, we've done like 40 plus interviews. When does the drone talk continue? Well, I didn't know how long we should linger on the drone talk. Like the numbers were actually going up during the drone talk. But you know, I didn't want to get too much into the non-gaming territory. Now that's for pod number 2, which will exclusively be about drones and my very little knowledge on it. So Rhykker can educate me fully on how drones operate and everything. Bro, I had some caffeine, so I'm actually not sleepy, Omega Cybers. I don't think I could fall asleep. So we're probably going to play a little bit of PoE2. A little bit. And then we're going to hop off. Thanks so much for all the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the subs on YouTube. Really appreciate it, you guys. Crip says he thinks PoE1 is pretty much done. Man, I watched that video. I didn't think he said that. I don't think he said that. I think he said... I watched his video. Did he say it's pretty much done? I think he's like, oh, well, it's not going to be the focus right now. But I don't think he said it was pretty much done. Hardcore on 1 hour of sleep. Hell yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that was really fun. I promised people an hour right now. I think for the next round, when I do like 1 to 2 per week, we're going to go for like, I'll say like 1.5 hours. Because sometimes I feel like I'm rushing people along and I don't really want to do that. So try, what aspects of PoE2, if in PoE1, without fundamentally changing PoE1, would it take for you to consider it better at the moment? It's the animations, dude. Deliberator, I think it's the animations and the impact of skills. I think that is the big thing that makes me enjoy PoE2 better. It's how your character feels while playing it. I think that's it. That's the big part for me. Another fantastic pod. Thank you so much, you guys. That was very fun. Yeah. I think I'll be saying, you know, okay, in the future maybe we're doing a little longer than an hour, but I hate lying to people. Okay, let's see. To which way? Where's to which way? You're saying still drone podcast win. Yeah, we'll break into mainstream. PoE2 really is pretty and smooth. Agreed. I wish they kept this idea of proving that for PoE1. As do I. As do I. PoE2 just isn't hitting a liking. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people are upset with the latest update, guys. Because PoE2 just wasn't vibing with them, and they were looking forward to dipping their toes into Path of Exile 1 again after, you know, it not receiving updates for 7 months, which is totally reasonable. You hate lying to people, that must mean you lie to people? So you admit I lie to people. Wait, what? I lie to people? Wait, what? What did I say? Did I say I lie to people? Huh? Okay. Let's see. Happy that it is full steam ahead on the next version of PoE2, though. A reset with new content is very welcome. Yeah, totally agree. Eric, is that you? What is this Eric talk? I haven't gone in game yet. Who are... I said I hate lying to people? Oh, what you're saying is I hate lying to people, so I must lie to people. Ah. No, I'm just using it like as the expression, you know? When you say you hate to do something, that's kind of what I meant. Hey, Loopy, what's going on, man? Loopy, I gotta add you on Discord, man. I have loved your freaking content. I linked your YouTube channel here the other day and plugged your Twitch. Freaking peak guide content, man. That is what I would aspire to do. If I was making guides, it would be your style of videos. They're so freaking good. Actually incredible, Loopy. Like, awesome, awesome videos. Great chat. You'll have to watch it back tomorrow to remember what was said with 1 hour sleep. Yeah, I'm out. I'm like, got a little bit of caffeine in me. The glaze. Hey, I glaze when it's warranted. Okay, I will glaze anybody if it's warranted. Any update to the no talk last week, Xanth? No, guys, I have people booked already. So just to show you guys. This is my schedule already. So we've got Lily, we've got Aaron from Action RPG next week, then Pox, Cyclone, All Trades Jack, DM on the 20th. And then I actually have 2 people here. I'm just getting final confirmations. I even have Slippery Jim, Scrimps, and Fearless Dumbo in March already. Like, I go way out, man. I go way out. I got to get Loopy on here. I hope his name... Oh, God, Loopy, dude. I don't even... Maybe it's Luppe. Jesus. Try, if you get the chance to ask, can you ask about aspects of PoE2 being ported to PoE1, like WASD and server pausing? I got to get Valina, because I had Valina, and, you know, I had to cut down on people. Because, guys, I had initially planned, like, every single day pods, and I was burning myself out. So, I just couldn't do it. Oh, your baby boy was born last week? Awesome, Fulleration. Congratulations. That is a massive milestone. Changes your life. My first daughter was born, changed my life. Second daughter was born, changed my life even more. Pretty crazy. Okay. We are on Talkative Try the Goat. Yep, big fan of Fearless Dumbo since he is one of the only few making Witch Hunter guides, and he is kicking ass on it. Isn't he, guys? Aren't his Witch Hunter guides amazing? Where are Steel Mage and Zizarin? I gotta get Steel on there. I don't know if Zizarin's up for it. I'll ask Ziz. But, you know, Ziz, like, we kind of just... He got sick, and then he was doing his pods, and he was very busy, so, you know. I asked Defector. Yeah. She's 5 months. She's not that new anymore. Let's get rid of the bathroom. She's not that new anymore, but like she had sleep regressed, unfortunately. Very sad that the sleep regression has occurred. I thought we were completely out. I would love a Frosty LaRue. Yeah, he was on the initial list too. He's totally up for it. I'll totally speak with Frosty. 100%. Thank you, Brown Eyed Aries. I'm glad you really like him. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Guys, I got a brand new camera and everything. I'm so excited. I got like a professional camera for my videos, so I'm not gonna be using a webcam anymore. And I got a nice light, like a nice big light that I have to set up. I'm forgetting what the name of it was called, but like a big like box light. It's cool. You should get an interview with Dreamcore. Bro, Dreamcore and I he was the OG. We had a pod lined up for last week, but Silver got sick. But yeah, Dreamcore, I think he's going to come on Saturday or Sunday. Oh, Makad, pregnant with your first kid. Congratulations. What baby-related purchase do you think you've gotten the most value out of and or the least? Oh my gosh. The least. The most, good swaddles. Good swaddles 100%. Ones that like Velcro and are pretty easy to maintain. 100% swaddles are the number one. What are those? Like it's like a straw sucker. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. My wife would know. But you use it to get snot out of your little one's nose if they're sick. I can't remember the name of it. It's like some crazy device. People probably think I'm insane, but it's really cool. And then the least, we got, so it's not like a fresh newborn, but like she was, you know, for when she's a little older, we got one of those giant play, like, I'm going to call it a playpen. Okay. But that's not really what it is. A playpen for her where we could lay her down or she could crawl around in. We could put all of her toys in and we could like walk away from her essentially. Or like leave her in there. And it took up a quarter of our living room for a year and a half for our first daughter. We used it once. So I do not recommend getting one of those playpens. Especially if it's your first, because you end up just like holding them or just playing with them on the ground and being next to them. You don't really find yourself walking away from them a lot. We need another Ghazi pod. Okay, I was trying not to do too many repeats, you guys. But I think a Ghazi pod would be good. Maybe I can convince them to let me on Tavern Talk again on their pod. But DM's coming back on. No Frida snot sucker. That might be it, bro. It might be a snot sucker. Nasal aspirator, maybe. Oh, guys, I'm playing hardcore now. I'm not watching the chat as much. I've done it without the straw. Do what you got to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do it without the straw, too. The straw made it so much easier. Try Tavern Talk would be great. I've been on Tavern Talk. It was a long time ago, but I was on there when I was much smaller. Oh yeah, once PoE podcasts are, once there's the update coming out, I'm probably going to do a few more per week. But for now, since there's not a great deal, not doing it. All right, we're going down here. I don't think I can, I don't think I'll die here. You're pretty strong at this point. Like this isn't a big difficulty. Place right here. And I'm freezing like everything. I don't think this is a very difficult area. Oof on the playpen. Yeah, we spent I think like $150, $200, Makad. Don't do it. It was a big mistake. I'm glad I thought about that. The frontal baby harnesses are great if you can get a comfortable one. Makes it way more convenient when going to certain events that aren't stroller friendly. Definitely. We had one of those too. I prefer that to pushing around strollers. I know a lot of people who game have had success with the little baby like wrap while playing, but I've never been able to do that with either of my girls. They just wake up and it's pointless. Oh, this is a dangerous area. Okay, maybe not that dangerous. Thought it was dangerous. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people are, yeah, not worth it. Yeah, I have a really cool new series that's going to be coming out on my YouTube channel, you guys. I hope you guys end up enjoying it. I don't think it's going to get nearly as much, traction in the YouTube algorithm as my news style videos or my feedback videos that are showcasing community thoughts on PoE2. But I do think that a lot of people will get a kick out of it. I don't want to like spoil too much, even though, I mean, I'm not really spoiling, but it's mixing PoE history, documentary style, and let's play elements with trivia, and like it's doing a whole bunch of stuff, and video essays. Like it's gonna be quite interesting, I think, and people will enjoy it, but YouTube is not gonna push it, I think. Hey, Oscrix, dude, thank you for the raid, man. We're doing some hardcore solo self-found. We just had a chat with Rhykker about how good PoE2 is, and we got him to say that if he could play one game now for the rest of his life in its current state, it would be Path of Exile 2. So that's going to be a clip and the top of the video, of course. Totally out of context. Thanks for the raid, man. How'd your stream go tonight? Ooh. We're going really slow. I may be operating on 1 hour of sleep. You're on hardcore solo self-found too? Nice. The farthest I've managed to get is the city of Keth. And I rolled into a pack of white monsters on my warrior and insta-died. Because I'm a dummy. Big dummy. To be honest, a patrol drone sounds kind of awesome. Well, if you're in a war zone or a scary area, but at least where I live, that sounds terrifying. I definitely don't want a drone patrolling my house. Warrior is so fun and Mace is just clearing screens. You are the rare individual who's having fun on Warrior. If I could play one game for the rest of my life, it's cut to drone talk. That's not a bad idea, man. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, a drone peeking through the window sounds dystopic. Dystopic, what the heck? Yes, it definitely sounds like a dystopia. Which, that's exactly what I thought. And the video of it is even scary. Let me see if I can get the video. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. 1 sec, exiles. Ring drone patrol. All right. Oh, it's on Instagram. I don't have an Instagram. Why are these all on Instagram? Okay, let's go Twitter. Here we go. I don't know who this person is, so we're just gonna look at the video. Okay. You guys ready to be terrified? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Guys, we don't want this, okay? We don't. Guys. What noise does it make? It's supposed to patrol for intruders. I hope everyone is now on my side that this is too much. Okay? Is it going to kill my cat? It might kill my cat. I think big no to this. Get this out of a horror movie. All right. I'm glad everyone is in agreement here. Please no to the drone. Oh, I've seen the Boston Dynamics robot. Definitely a nope. Definitely. I think my damage is low, you guys. Do I have low I wonder if I have really low damage. Do I have an Orb of Alchemy? I wonder if I have an Elk Orb. Before I go fight the wonderful Balbala. Going to patrol to make sure you're asleep by 10 p.m. or call the cops? Yep. Yep. Have I seen the Chinese drone show? Yes, I have. Oh, for New Year? No, but I've seen them before. The drones in the large cities? Yeah, I've seen them. It's pretty majestic. It almost looks fake. I know it's not fake, but it looks completely fake. It's so crazy. Hey, is there any plus int node on the passive tree? This sounds like the start of a bad joke. Yes, there are plus int nodes on the passive skill tree. Yeah, bala. Okay, I am not gonna do her yet. I'll do her in a second. Okay. I won't even say anything. I already said something. I'm screwed. Okay, we've got an Orb of Alchemy. Yeah, I know phrasing. I realized it as I said it. Yep, I know. I know phrasing. All right. Hey, there we go. Oh. I'm lucky. It's based on the eye level. I'm a dummy. All right, so we'll get this rune. Based on the eye level. Thank you, Broccoli. I actually did not know that. Why don't I put my runes in there? They stack. Thank you. See, I am a PoE2 noob, you guys. Did you guys know I don't actually play Path of Exile 2? I just make videos about it. You guys know that? Big yikes, right? Big yikes. All right, let's try facing Balbala. They did change it to be like that in PoE1. You're totally right. Okay. Balbala time. You got Sidekick today, and dude, it's so dope. What a great helper to identify prices plus map difficulty. Man, I've never used third-party apps. Like, it's cool to... I'm glad people like them, but I don't know. I'm just, like, skeptical on them. Okay. Oh, where's the hardcore soul found text? You're right. I forgot to put that in there obnoxiously. 1 second. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, you ready? All right. Here we go. Okay. All right, let's do it.
Self. Hack barrier.
Frost!
Face me. Mists of Sulamit. Darakana. Atul.
You gotta be kidding me.
Keep waiting.
I've never seen that one shot. I've never seen that one shot. How did that one shot? Okay, well, that'd probably do it. Oh, it's the text. Oh my gosh, I was being an ass. Oh, I'm never gonna beat the campaign. I'm never. Oh, no. Guys, it does that much damage? Oh my god. If I tank a lot, I've literally never seen them do that much damage. Usually I dodge out. But I tanked every single one, didn't I? Did somebody clip it so I can see it? Did somebody clip it so I can see it? No, no, I gotta start a new character before I go to sleep. I work 8 to 4:30. Or I think I work 8 to 4:30. Oh no, 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 DM bro. No, no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. DM, I just ripped, man. How could you do this to me?
All the time.
Can we get the clip? Does anybody have the clip for me? I was doing so well, man. I'm never gonna beat the campaign. I'm never gonna beat the campaign. Why am I so stupid? Kidding me? I've never seen that one shot. I've never seen that one shot. How did that one shot? Okay, well, that'd probably do it. I'm never gonna make it out of the campaign. Guys, oh my god. Okay, bro, why am I standing there? Okay, the real answer is because I got 1 hour of sleep the past few nights. The actual answer is because I'm bad. Okay, let's be real. Why did I stand in that? I don't know. You died on a monk to Balbala. Yes. That would probably... Sheer fucking hubris. That is actually correct. Oh, I mean, this is the sheer hubris right here. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's make this way smaller, okay? I think that was the Bane. Okay. All right, what do we go back to? What do we go back to? We were doing... I'm not doing Witch. I'm not doing Witch. Those that ascending quickly and all that. Oh my god, yes, Azaro quotes. Crossbows? Okay, guys. I'm so bad at the Merc. I don't think I want to do crossbows. How about I play Ranger? I haven't played any Ranger.
An outcast.
Talkative try. No, I don't want to play minions, Darth. No, dude, it was too boring. Minions is way too boring. No, I can't do it. Deadeye crossbow. I'll try Ranger. I've never played Ranger. Okay. All right. We good. No, I'm not playing crossbows. No, I'm gonna do bows. I'm gonna do bows. I can't believe that. I don't, man, I'm bad. Man, I can't believe this. Lightning Arrow's easy mode campaign. Yeah, well, you say that, bro. But I'm bad. So I am an idiot at times. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mod Cybers. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're right. You're right. I was an idiot, okay? I literally stood in the daggers, right? Find the Miller. I'm really starting to get used to this. Reach, clear, fell, find the Miller. Point of dialogue, you know? I don't know what character is that? Was that Rip 4? That was Rip 4, right, you guys? Yeah, that was Rip 4. Wow. How long do I usually stream for? 2 hours, 3 hours usually. Cause I gotta work up. I gotta get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, so I gotta get up in like you know, a few hours, and my daughters wake me up every hour, so you know, I don't get to stream as long as I'd like to, unfortunately. You know, League launches, I'll have help from my lovely mother and mother-in-law, but right now I am with my wife, my beautiful wife, and we take care of those little beautiful girls. So took you 15 attempts to get to maps. Okay. All right, so I'm on try 4. All right? And all I got to do is beat the campaign. All right? All right, come on. Where are you? Where are you, bro? Come on. I haven't actually played Ranger on WASD. I might fall in love. Titan Cruel one-shot took your soul. Isn't this better? Just using my basic attack, right? And then using this to clear, you know. Oh! You guys see that? I didn't dodge that. That was crazy. Ranger WASD is amazeballs. Yeah, feels pretty good so far. Feels really good, actually. Oh, staggered. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. There we go. Oh, look at that. Easy. Wow. Only 3 items? That's kind of crazy.
Please come inside.
3 items. Did you play in softcore before going to hardcore? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I have a level 91 monk. I have a level 36 warrior. And an SSF monk as well. Well, now I have 2 SSF monks, actually.
Tools of the forge turned tools of war.
I'm guessing lightning rod is the absolute way to go here. Stack up on bosses. Excuse me. Did I ever play hardcore in PoE1? No. Hey, Old Trade Shack, what's going on, man? I didn't see you in the chat. How's it going, dude? We just unveiled that we indeed will be speaking in February. I just unveiled the pod list. People are excited. It's going to be a good chat, man. Can't wait to hear about how bad Warrior is in PoE2. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. Anything else that I can grab here? Nope. I really got to organize this stuff off stream. It's kind of an embarrassment. Kind of an embarrassment. Here. How cool I look. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, sounds like you play games while your wife had to look after the kids on her own. So sad. All right, bro. All right. Want to hear about my day today? Let's start at 12 a.m. All right. 12 a.m. My wife gets up to breastfeed. I also wake up because we sleep in the same bed together. As she's breastfeeding, my 2.5-year-old wakes up all the way down the hall screaming, "Daddy, Daddy, come read me a story." I get up around 12:10, walk there, read a story to her as she falls back asleep. I rub her back for like 30 minutes until she's good asleep. I come back to the room. My other daughter, who's 5 months old, won't go back to sleep after breastfeeding. So I sit there and I hold her for another 45 minutes. This brings us to about, like 1:20 a.m. or something. And my wife is asleep, breathing heavily beside me. I set her down in her crib. I lay down. I wake up at 3 a.m. My daughter, my 2.5-year-old, has rampaged into our bedroom and is now kicking us and waking us up. Once again, I, caress her back to sleep. She falls asleep. I fall asleep next to her. 4 a.m. My youngest daughter gets up and my wife feeds her, but she's not going back to sleep. I have to work starting at 7:30 a.m. So I grab my youngest and I go down and I sit on the couch so my wife can get some rest because she's fed her multiple times throughout the night. And she's going to have a long day while I'm working with the kids. Yes, she is a stay-at-home mom. But I take my daughter until 7:55 a.m. Okay? Before I have to log on to work and start working. Don't take a shower today. This is showerless try. Can you tell that my hair was not showered today? I didn't get a shower in today because I was taking care of my daughter. Get off work at 4:45 today. Come downstairs and I play with my daughters for about 30 minutes. And then I cook steak, broccoli, and quinoa for the entire family. Finish that, and my wife would like to read for an hour to get some chill time before I stream tonight. So I play with them. We dance to Brother Bear. We go around in a circle. We pretend like we're bears. We're bear crawling and everything and having a good time playing with some dino cars until about 6:30. When it's 6:30, it's time to get ready for bed for my oldest, who has not woken up yet. Props to her. Very happy. But I brush her teeth. I get her in her pajamas. I bring her upstairs and I read 5 books to her. Now, they're not, novels or anything. They're just Disney books, right? Read her 5 books. She's not asleep yet, so I caress her back for a little bit, turn on a little story for her, and she falls asleep. I go in, give my wife a kiss as my youngest falls asleep, and then I come and I sit down and I start streaming. And I will stream probably until about 10 o'clock. I did stream particularly long today, 7 to 10. But it's crazy. Maybe I totally misconstrued this person and he was talking to somebody else. But it is crazy to think that I just let my wife take care of my kids and I don't contribute. I won't die on the PoE2 versus PoE1 versus whatever hell, right? I don't really care about that. I do care about people trash talking me as a father. That does make me mad. I will make a rage video on that, okay? On my PoE channel. That will happen. I didn't look at chat that entire rant, so I don't know. Somebody might have just been referencing someone else. And I completely misconstrued what they were saying. Yes. So that is actually what's going on. I am grinding because I think it's worthwhile and I have fun doing it. This is just what I do in my downtime. Right?
In my sights.
That's sustainable long term though, like probably not. Like it is very tiring, but I'm gonna go hard for about a year. We'll see how it goes. I have a lot of sponsors. I have a lot of people supporting me. And yes, during League launch, that person is totally right. I do rely heavily on my wife to help while I stream for 12 hours that night. But my mother and mother-in-law live 7 minutes away, which is pretty good for us. So we're very lucky. So if we ever really do need assistance, they come and help us out. We're very lucky about that. Okay, rage over. Rage over. I'll read chat again. I don't always agree with feeding the trolls, but every once in a while you gotta throw them wine scraps. It's understandable. Yeah. I usually, you know, there were a lot of people saying crap before, but felt like I had to speak on that one. I don't think this is really useful. Is this useful? I don't know. That... Ooh, no. I feel like I'd kill myself with that. I'm new to PoE2. What classes are people having fun with? Yeah, all the DM raiders are probably like, what in the absolute hell is this guy going on about? Kids? What? I love the monk, dude. The monk is such a feel-good class. That's my favorite in the game thus far. By far. Big fan of monk. I've retained a good number. I wasn't looking at anything. Thank you, AJB. Oh, yes. Now it's time to roll the ads. I should have rolled the ads during that lecture segment. 500 hours in, and I can't believe I need 50 more to fight the pinnacle boss. AJ, what? Well, the RNG system currently needs to change, in my opinion. I think that there shouldn't be an RNG system to fight the pinnacles. I think that there should be deterministic for the first fight. And then maybe it can be a little bit more RNG based. But at least for the first, there needs to be some sort of determinism there. Monk is good if you like melee plus spells until Paladin comes. Alright, guys. Should I go for her? How do I do this? How am I supposed to blow her up? Oh! Do I like use a whole bunch of these? And then use that? They combo together, right? And they're like bouncing off each other?
Fury.
Oh! I've literally not played this class, so I'm learning it on the fly, kind of, with at least with these abilities. I think that's what you're supposed to do. I think I was right. Yeah, once you have Orb of Storms, it nukes. Oh, okay. Got it. It gets better. It gets less hard once you can really talk to kids and get them to understand well until they become teens. Okay. One more thing, guys. All right. One more dad win. Okay? It felt so good. Okay? One more dad story. Sorry. Wow. That's obnoxious. What is this? Okay, that's gone. One more dad win. This is going to sound like the silliest thing to all of you, but it was a big win. So yesterday we were reading a book, my daughter and I, when my wife was reading last night, and we were reading. It was like a scrapbook, and we finished reading the scrapbook. It was like flimsy, like laminated material, and my daughter threw the book. Okay, she threw it onto the ground, and I picked it up and I said, "Hey, we don't throw books. You know, we throw balls. We don't throw books. That's not what we do. Please go put the book back on the shelf on top of all the other books." And my daughter threw the book again. Okay, guys? So what do? Option A. Okay, I just pick up the book myself and put it back. Option B. I scream at her. Option C. We have the timeout bench. And I'm like, okay. Well, we need to go sit on the bench and we need to understand what you did and why it was wrong. Okay? And you need to tell me why it was wrong. Get very stern try. Okay? You know, serious try. While he's recording the video in which everybody thinks he's crying, right? So we walk over to the bench. I'm holding my other daughter. I sit her there. She bawls for 5 minutes straight, screaming, wailing. I don't want to be here. I don't want to sit. I want to stand up. I can't do this. This is horrible. Great vocabulary for a 2-year-old. I'm not going to lie. Like, she literally said all these things, right? And then she just gets silent. And I'm like, okay. What did you do wrong? What did you do wrong, sweetie? And she said, I threw the book. And I said, yes, you threw it. Yep, that's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because it could hit baby sissy. Okay, we're 2 for 2 now. Okay, she's doing really good. Then I say, What are we going to do with the book now? I'm going to go put it back. 3 for 3 after 5 minutes of wailing. I said, okay, awesome. Let's go put the book back. She gets up off the timeout bench and she goes and she put the book back on the stack. W as a parent, people who aren't parents, you might not understand. Maybe you will. Such a feel-good moment. Like when 2-year-old daughter, when they have like just a complete sense of being unable to control their emotions, right? And when you get like a win like that, it just feels so good. And you can't gloat in front of them because they're like, what the hell? Why? Like, I'm happy. I was very happy that she did it. But in the back of my mind, I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm so glad that she's like learning. She understands what she's doing wrong. And you want to know the funny thing? This can be applied to people of all ages. Hey, Infernalist, I already talked to Rhykker. I'm going to post the VOD on YouTube right after I finish streaming. I'm probably just going to do the Devour and then pop because I'm exhausted. No, I can't teach people not to throw a fit about PoE1, but, you know, it can be applied in all areas of your life. Wait until she is 9 and has learned all the words and uses them correctly, but you still have to correct them, lol. My son was rather timid as a younger kid, and now he is 9. Oh my freaking god, yeah. Hey, Juice, what's going on, dude? Yeah, I actually had some cafe juice. So, cafe? I just had some cafe. Oh my god. I had some caffeine.
These tunnels run deep.
I knew I needed to play hardcore. I didn't expect to die. But it happens. Exactly. If you get timed out in chat, you can't start chatting again until you've explained what you've done wrong. Yeah, like my workplace. Oh, actually, no, I can't. I've just seen this play out so many times in adult life. Literally that scenario with my daughter. And people just aren't properly dealt with. And it festers, and it just becomes worse. And that's bad. That's bad. No, dudes, I'm not doing a video on the drama. I just don't want to engage with it because I just think it's so bullshit. I'm so over the drama already. Elon Musk drama, not for me. This drama, not for me. Pirate software drama, not for me. Just, no. Give me the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift drama. That's for me, guys. Now that might be way... Everybody is probably just like, what is going on? You guys are crazy. What's a good video? Makad. Makad's talking about sitting down Reddit. Yeah. You enjoyed the DS Lily Rage Gaming drama? Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think it's more so unfortunate. I think that drama's very unfortunate, guys. I was going to involve myself in it in a positive way, but given how it's continued to play out, I have decided against it. Because I don't see how it can just end positively. Like there appears to be too much conflicting stuff going on. So I have decided to not involve myself in it. I was going to try to be a positive, you know, force in that, as I always am. But I stopped. You will learn in time that all drama is just a waste of energy. Yeah, you're totally right, bro. Because this latest stuff, man, it just does not feel good reading all this crap. Oh, dang. Okay, so this boss is really tough. With getting my lightning arrows down, right? Okay, I want to do that. Oh, no. That was the wrong thing. I did the wrong thing, Exiles. I keep pressing the wrong button. Big stun, big stun, big stun. Bounce, 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 bounce. We got this, we got this. Oh. Or is he gonna pop out? Right there. Oh no, I keep pressing 5 when I mean to press 3. Oh yeah, look at those shocks. Big shocks. Big damages. Big damages. Oh, the tail. We got this, Exiles. We got this, Exiles. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh. Look at this pro gaming moves. Oh, not so pro. Oh, okay, okay. Oh! See, if only I could have done this against Balbala, you know? If only I was dodging all the Balbala abilities, we wouldn't be in this mess. But of course, I had to get greedy, as one does when they're massively overconfident. As someone said in the chat, sheer effing hubris. Here we go.
It had to be done.
People somewhat enjoy the drama. Yeah, I won't get involved in the drama. I'm just sad how it played out. I thought it was going to have a happy ending, and it's not having a happy ending. Sometimes when an interviewer, you ask a question, then proceed to give them 4 answers to choose from. Seems kind of weird to give them options to choose from. Yeah, so I do that. Here, tell me if I'm bad or not. So I watch everybody's faces very closely. And I see if they're like actually getting ready to answer, or if they're like, oh shit, I don't have an answer to this. I don't want to look like an idiot. I'm just going to start stumbling and bumbling through something, right? And so if I see that happening on their face, I try to give them a little bit of rope, not to hang themselves with, but to start off the answer. And then, yes, you're totally right. Sometimes I like go in too much. And I say to, like, I'm like, oh, there's this answer, that answer, this answer, right? Instead of just giving one example and then trying to push it to them. Yeah, that's my bad. That's me just needing to be better, right? I'm cognizant of that. No. Wait, crossbow? No. No real good gear there. All right. Let's see. Hey, Try, am I related to any celebrities? Well, some people say I'm related to Alex Honnold. Some people say I am related to, who is it? Who is it, you guys? Help me out here. John Krasinski. Okay. Do I want chaining, scattershot, 20%? Lightning rod and scattershot? I know people say I remind others of Alex. Scattershot on rod, on lightning rod. I'll believe you guys. Oh, because it makes multiple. Yeah, lots of people say I remind people of Alex Honnold, but I don't do rock climbing. That's Mathel. The reason I brought it up is because I know you're actively trying to become better at it. Thank you for acknowledging it on your own. Great progress so far. Thanks so much, Skill Gap. Yeah. No, I'm totally cognizant of where I'm basically bad and trying to improve. Jim Carrey. Okay. No, I'm not related to John Krasinski, but apparently I do the Jim faces a lot. So that's a good person to be related to, honestly. Did I not get... No, I did. Wait. Did I not get the Clearfell? I'm an idiot. I didn't get the waypoint. Silly me. Who was Alex Scattershot and Rock? Out of Talkit. I still love the Act 1 town music. That violin, yeah, it's so good. The music is just on another level. On another level. I'm a big fan. So who said it? Was it DM? Was it DM? No, I don't want to raid out yet. I'm still feeling the buzz, dude. I only want to raid out if I hear somebody waking up, my oldest, or if I start to feel that drop, because otherwise I'm just probably going to go play some PoE2 or something. I love listening to the pods at work, bro. Really listen. You're a hell of an interviewer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, by the way, I don't know if many people know this because I haven't advertised it on the videos. The podcasts on YouTube are also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you just want a pure audio version, or YouTube is draining your battery at work, if you listen to these, you know, at work or wherever you are, driving, you know, they're on Spotify and they're on Apple, and they're up the same day. So if you ever want to listen to those instead, it's just the Still Sane podcast on Apple and Spotify, and you can listen there too. But you have to leave me a good review. If you don't, then you can't listen. Can't listen to the pod there, okay? Okay, I think attack speed is the way to go here. You did not know that? Now you do? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I started doing it because it's really just one extra step for me. And a few people were asking for it, and now I'm getting, I think, like we're at 10,000 downloads after 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. Like, that's really good numbers, I think. I don't know podcast numbers, but you're starting a big boy job soon, so you'll definitely check out the podcast. Yeah. I know people... yeah. I love podcasts. My favorite podcast is probably Hardcore History. If anybody's looking for a good new podcast to listen to and enjoys history across the board, Hardcore History is where you should go. It's Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. There's a bunch available for free on Apple Podcasts, at least. I don't listen to Spotify. But Dan Carlin is an absolute goat. He also used to do a political show, and we don't need to talk about politics, but his political show, Common Sense, used to be just, oh, I loved Common Sense. I miss it. It was really good. Oh boy. Oh boy. You like lore a lot? Yeah, as soon as I get some energy back, I really want to make my League video. You miss Common Sense as well? Oh, okay, so there are some people. You're going to start working at Boeing soon. Oh, nice. My brother's friend works at Boeing. He had to move to California for that. He's a mechie at Boeing. Yeah, sometimes I listen to the old Common Sense episodes. The last one he did was when the war started between Russia and Ukraine. He just randomly, after not doing an episode for years, he randomly did an episode. And now it's been, you know, what, 2 years now since he's done another? Yeah, I mean, Ranger's feeling pretty smooth. The one thing, so I have to point to click, right? I have to point correctly or I will miss these guys. Wow, like, look at that. Did you see that? There's no aim assist. That's crazy. No, definitely do not set your wife on a timeout bench. No, 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 no. No, I was talking about my daughter. What the heck is that? That's crazy. So I have to be exactly on top of the monster. I'm just missing? Oh, am I just missing? Maybe I am just missing.
Even the trees have become twisted with corruption.
Oh my. Should I get into melee range with this dude? That looked like a one-shot. Usually I kill this guy by now. I'm actually after doing this guy. I have to do this guy's mechanics? What are his mechanics? Oh no. Oh, he's got volatile plants. No way. This is where the volatile plants modifier comes from? I hate this guy. Yeah, I'm doing very little damage here. Okay. More volatile plants. Maybe I should be auto-attacking. Maybe that's the problem with what I'm doing right now. I shouldn't have just been using those. I should be auto-attacking. Yeah, I'm doing way more damage auto-attacking. Silly me. See? Okay, so people are saying upgrade that, right? Attack damage nodes on passive tree early over attack speed are noticeable. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That was silly for me.
Fury.
Silly of me to do that. Yeah, auto attack is very strong early on. Especially if I get like lightning infusion on it. It's stronger than that. I wish map bosses felt like those boss fights as well. I would like longer map boss fights. Right now, with my map bosses at max difficulty on my monk, it does kind of feel like that. They do feel longer, which is cool. Speaking of, I think I'm at a Doriani. Do you guys want me to do a Doriani Citadel? Show off my endgame monk? And then maybe I can go to sleep. Maybe I'll like I'll rage quit after failing a Doriani. That'd be fun. Let me find the thing. I need to find. Yeah, you're probably scared that I'll fail. Yeah, because I did fail an Arbiter last night.
And overcome.
It was pretty sad, the Arbiter fail. My Frost Mage Witch is literally melting. Yeah, my friend insta-killed Arbiter with a Frost Mage Witch. Thank you, AJB. Yeah, I'll probably swap those out. The attack speed is unneeded.
There is a battlefield friendly. I'll wait here. The old magics will protect me.
Okay. I'm gonna disobey Omega Cybers. I'm sorry, Kay. I gotta show off my boy. But I do have to take this off because it's a lie now. This isn't hardcore. How about I do this? How about this instead? How about there we go. Good. Alright, watch how fast my attack speed is now. Look at that. Woo! Woo! Oh, you can go to bed. Okay, go to bed. Go to bed. You're fine. Everything will be fine. Everybody will behave. Okay? Can you please share your insights on SSF and regular standard drops? Do you recommend new PoE2 players try SSF? Are the drops worth it? I go SSF light. Trade as little as possible. You'll get through the campaign. It'll feel great. But once you get to the end game, you might feel like you need to trade to get upgrades, unfortunately. Because there is no real deterministic way of getting big upgrades. No. Go to sleep, Omega Cybers. I'm just going to do one. Go to sleep. You're good. You're good. All right. We are going to... I think we've got some juiced out the wazoo ones. 495. Do I have any crazy ones? 505. Okay. We're going to do this one. What happens to these characters after like 6 leagues? Are leagues 1 through 5 put together, or does each league always stay separate? Leagues 1 through 5 are put together. All right, so we're going to do map boss, irradiated, 505%. Extra damage is fire. Penetrate Eli-Res. We're probably going to die. But it's going to be fun. I just hope we get to Doriani. Okay? I have not lost to Doriani. I am not going to do the Mirror of Delirium. Whoa, 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 whoa. My FPS is dropping. You guys see that? Wonder what my FPS is. It's really... What's going on? I guess my FPS isn't dropping. Look, it's pretty steady. It feels like really... Do you guys kind of see it? It feels a little odd. Like stuttery almost. It's staying clean at 90 some FPS. And this is 4K too. Oh, I'm bleeding. Wait, did I already find Doriani? No. Okay. I'm really just trying to get Doriani. Because this map at 505 rarity does feel a bit rippy. The stuns are especially what scare me. I haven't really been able to fight Doriani in full. Do you guys feel that? I feel like Doriani is the weakest of all of the bosses. We got him. Okay.
So, at the eve of the end, the demon of Vanzoatl has finally come for me. Nothing can stand against us. Relentless assault! I can't give up. I must save my people. No, I will succeed. There is no escape. Big-headed fool. The end of the world is nigh. I plan for every contingency. I cannot. Fatal ambition.
Oh, I didn't see the AoE. I was right. Is it a larger AoE?
It's not over yet.
Oh, I totally didn't see the AoE. That sucks. Yeah, whatever. His voice acting is so good. It's good. Okay, big rip. All right, let's see. Who can we pass the raid train on to? Tonight was a very fun night, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Anybody live that you guys want to hop to? Anybody live? Yeah, I was right on the edge of it. I got popped. Bajira? Then there's a, how about, let's see. No, not Ben. Sammy? Is Sammy Cap streaming PoE2? And show him some love. Here you go. Here you go. I'm rating Sammy Caps. There's a smaller guy, older guy playing PoE. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Freak Sammy Caps out, okay, you guys? Freak him out. All right, thanks so much, Bro Norn. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Really appreciate you tuning in. Stay sane, Exiles. I'll see you next Tuesday for the next podcast. Appreciate it.